Hello, dear Crystalites, and welcome to episode 0 of the After Talks with the Collaborators Beyond Time and Space, where we're going to be discussing our afterthoughts and insights on the recently finished Eastern Mythos Story, Shadow of Sin and Steel, from chapters 1 to chapter 7. So, let's go down the line and introduce ourselves. So, you go ahead and start us off. Who would like to start off with their little introductions? You can go ahead and you can start off. Clambo.
Hello, hello guys. I'm Clambo. So yeah, I do a little bit of voice acting on Other Eden, and I just like I think it was like 2 hours ago finished chapter 7. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to talk about it. It's fresh in my mind. So yeah, that's me. I'm the cat.
All right. Thank you so much for your introduction, Clambo. I guess I'll go next. Hi, I am Melody Crystal. I am your Crystalis host and the host for today's After Talks live stream. Yay! All right, who goes next?
Yes, me.
Yeah, you go.
Hi, I'm Alcron. I'm quite a bit of MIA right now, but things are going along with another Eden. So
Yep.
it's been interesting so far to see where everything is falling into place.
Yep. Thank you so much. Next up, we have we can have David next. David.
Hey everybody, it's David Wowie. I do a lot of another Eden content, so check me out when you can. And I'm happy to be here. Thanks, Melody.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming on to today's live stream. And lastly, we have Zara.
Oh, hello. I'm Zara, also known as Fenelor Falalone.
Yippee!
Happy
So
New
we have
Oh, we've got an Uno card. Look at that. Look at that animation right there.
Sagad sa
oh
buto ang
gosh.
tibay.
Lag is real.
Question, Melody.
Yes.
Is your stream on the Discord working? Cause it's not showing for me.
Oh
I can see it on YouTube.
The share screen's working just fine. All right. So, like I said earlier, we are going to be sharing our afterthoughts, our after talks, insights, reflections on what happened during the entirety of the Eastern Mythos story, Shadow of Sin and Steel. And if you want to stick around to the very end of the live stream, we have a few more announcements to share with you guys, so stay tuned for that one. But let's go ahead and get started with the after talks. So let's have a little quick recap on what happened during the Eastern Mythos story. So the East, the continent of Garulia, 2 countries vie for conquest, and the very land burns. A single youth wanders trails of blood and ash. He is the shadow of this time of horrors, with lost memories, a blade he swore never to unsheath, and a small partner by his side. He makes for the distant castle. A meeting with the samurai and shinobi he cursed, a fated encounter with the light. Where will his blade turn at the end of his journey? The sin of 1,000 dark nights begin to awaken once more. So that's the basic gist of the entire Mythos storyline for Shadow of Sin and Steel. And I did input something, so we have points to note. So August 2024 was the reveal of Shadow of Sin and Steel during the Midsummer Festival live stream. Now, for a little bit of context, how did everyone feel during that time when it was revealed that we're getting an Eastern Mythos story?
Excited.
Super excited. And at first I didn't think it was going to happen. What do you
I was thinking what the waifus will be like. What will the women like, what would the characters be like, you know?
You were always
That's what I
aiming
was
for the waifus. You're always aiming for the waifus.
God, it's got to be good. I was like, are they sellable? Can we get good ones?
What does everyone else think? Alcron, Clambo, how did you feel about the reveal that we're getting an Eastern Mythos during the Midsummer
For me,
Festival?
I was really excited
Mhm.
because when I first saw the trailer, it was like ooh, are we getting like a buddy cop comedy in in Eastern, right?
Mhm.
Because
What do you think of that?
you know the main focus is Senya is the samurai, and the 2 brothers Shigure and Shion. I'm really
Mhm.
excited about that
Oh.
part.
Ah, okay. Clambo, what did you think of the reveal?
All right. So I was kind of excited. Also, like the characters were really nice, but I was mostly excited because I was like, all right, finally we're getting a story where we're not gonna fight like gods, or we're gonna fight like creatures that like from beyond time and space. Where it's gonna be like more local, more kind of like good and evil. Samurai versus like ninjas and stuff like that. More like kind of like a closer, more tame story. I was wrong, but like by
I
chapter
was
7,
about to say that, bro. You were so
You
wrong.
all wrong.
But I mean,
Yeah.
I was like, at least from that trailer, I was like, all right, it's gonna be like tamer. It's gonna be kind of like more old school, more like gentle, but I was wrong.
Down to
But
earth.
Gentle. When you
exactly.
say gentle, we got the opposite of gentle. We got
Yeah,
the
it's just
opposite.
like the
Yeah.
yeah. What I was expecting was like a buddy cop comedy between like Shion and Shigure, and she's like, nope,
Nope.
No,
nope,
that's it.
No,
Turned
no,
into
we
no.
got
a
something
bloody,
else.
It was completely
the
something
opposite of a
else.
buddy cop. It was so dark. It got real dark with the buddies.
Yep.
Didn't it?
It went
Got dark
from
super quick.
yeah, it went from 0 to 100 real quick.
Hey,
Yeah.
Ronchi, what you doing?
Very.
Yeah, until chapter 7, that's true. He did, Ranji said,
Yeah.
I feel like majority didn't expect it. That's very true, because we weren't expecting we're
Yeah.
getting an Eastern Mythos after, what, since KMS? And I did
Yeah.
notice the pattern, so I believe it was like 4 years ago, we got the story for Clark and, the Song of Sword and Wings of Lost Paradise. And then 2 years then we got KMS, and now we're getting Eastern Mythos. So do you think they're gonna follow the same pattern where like maybe next year in 2026 we're getting another Mythos story?
Maybe.
Maybe. Yeah. Just because there's still like a lot of unanswered questions, especially with the alter characters in
Mhm.
Make Sense, right?
That's very true. Now,
Do you guys think it will rotate all over again? So we'll get another ancient, then we'll get future, then we'll get another present, or do you think it will be a brand new kind of thing?
that's the thing
Maybe
is
Holo Mythos.
that's the thing is
It could still like the Zebria content because
yeah.
continent because we don't have one for present and future.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I would be curious if there is a present and future Zuberia continent areas that could be a potential mythos story. So that could be a
We
possibility.
should.
Who was speaking?
Oh, I was just saying they should.
Yeah, that's true. So
Yeah.
yeah, but who knows what the future holds for another Eden? It's very much exciting. So like I said, August
Yeah, it's
24th. Yeah, yes. Sorry.
Yeah, so, sorry. It's just like especially now, another Eden feels like a very open book. Like there's so much they can expand upon.
Mm-hmm. That's very
It's like
true.
it's really exciting to see what they have in store for us later today.
Yeah, that's very true. And I can't wait for what they have to share during the anniversary live, so that's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
All right. So after that, we got our first chapter, Shadow and Stray Fox, in September 2024, followed by Flames of War, Chapter 2 in October. November would be Ashen Skies and Ember Petals. December 2024 would be Chapter 4 of What Remains of What Was. Then at the beginning of January 2025, around like a week or two in January 2025, we got Chapter 5, The Creeping Afterglow. February would be the Winter's Call, and lastly, last month we got the final chapter, Senya and Reimei. So overall, we were able to get through the story of Shadow of Sin and Steel in 7 chapters, which, to be fair, it's a very interesting and very traumatic story. Like if you took a Danganronpa game
Yeah.
and put it in an Eastern setting, you get the effect of Danganronpa. But more
What the hell is
Yeah.
Danganronpa?
I don't know.
for those it's basically
Murder mystery.
yeah, murder mystery. The blood is pink for censorship, but it's very much an icon, and you're dealing with a lot of truths, a lot of lies, and a lot of trauma that goes along with it. So it's basically that, but
Yeah.
in another Eden. I'm surprised you don't even know Danganronpa, David and Clambo.
Yeah.
I think that's
maybe-
just my life
Think
in
of-
general, man.
But
I mean,
Mm.
Think of
it's-
it like a
it's basically a
Yeah, no,
lot
I'm-
a lot of dialogue, and you have to read through it all.
All right.
All right, so let's begin our afterthoughts and insights on the first chapter, which is Shadow and Stray Fox, released on September 19, 2024. So, who's going to start us off with their expectations and then their afterthoughts of chapter 1?
how about
Okay, go ahead.
yeah, how about me? Because this was where everything went down.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this is going to be nice. We're just going to have fun with Shion and Shigure.
Yeah.
Boy, I was wrong.
True. It's so true.
Because like, because like,
Yes.
we're just going to have fun with Senya, right? And
Yeah.
it's just like, oh god,
We get to have a free character.
things
That's a
happen
bonus.
fast.
We get to have a free character.
Yeah,
That's a
we
bonus.
get a free character.
But then everything went downhill.
Ev- yeah.
Was that all in chapter 1?
And it's just like,
All
and
the
it's
downhill stuff?
Yeah.
yeah,
So, context.
yeah.
What
Because,
happened
like,
in chapter 1 was that Shigure, Aldo, and Shion were sent to the parallel time layer where Alter Sikiha is
They
from,
were
and a lot of things went downhill. And
actually
Yeah.
starting. They were at first going to like Shigure's grandfather's birthday, I believe.
yeah. And they were finding like a gift
Yes.
for Shigure's grandfather, but ended up transporting themselves into a parallel
Yeah.
time layer where Shigure's grandfather
Yeah.
passed. And that's like
Whew, yeah.
it's very, very traumatic. But I think the best part of chapter 1 is when they introduce like the animated cutscenes. Like when they did Extra Cell
Yeah.
Shigure's entrance doing the animated cutscenes. That was, I guess, one of the best highlights from chapter 1, aside
Yeah,
from the
that was
dramatic.
really amazing.
Yeah, it was. And they did show it during like
Yeah.
the official trailer for the
Yeah.
Mythos, which was really exciting, considering
Mm.
that a lot of the cutscenes that we usually get are like in the same style of the characters or like in 3D. This is
Mm.
like the first time we're getting animated 2D cutscenes, which is a highlight.
Ronchi says the Shigure abs.
Great. Yeah,
That's his
Yes.
highlight from
Yeah.
chapter
Agreed.
1.
it's a big
Agreed.
highlight.
Agreed.
I'm actually, yeah, it's right on my face right now. His abs. What is that, an 8-pack?
I mean, maybe. It looks like a 6-pack to me.
He got little buddy fat. Dude is ripped.
He's been working out.
Good diet and exercise plan.
True, he got a lot of good workouts. What's his routine? Let me know.
Yeah.
Tiger killing. You just gotta kill a tiger every day. You'll be
Just
fine.
daily
You'll get six
routine.
Oh my
pack.
gosh. So, what would you guys rate this? Out of 1 from 1 to 10, what would you rate chapter 1? Considering it's the first chapter, I think for me I would rate it at an 8 out of 10 because down the line there are better chapters. The story gets better.
Yeah.
I'd say
Yeah.
8 out of 10
But
for
I
me.
would put it as a-
About 7 or 6 for me. Maybe
Okay.
6.5.
Yeah,
Jeez Louise.
I would go with a 6.5 or 7 because if my memory might be wrong on this, but like it seems like chapter 1, you go to the portal
Mm-hmm.
and then you just walk around, you meet Senya, and then you just walk around and evade some guards,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah,
then
it's
you go into
basically
another
very
portal.
short.
Yeah, it's if I remember being very, very short and be like, all right, this is kind of cool, but there's nothing more to it. So
Yeah.
yeah, I would go like 6 or 7 just because for the fact that there's nothing much happening. Music was cool, the graphics was
Mhm.
nice, like everything was pretty good, but it was like missing, like it was starting, but it haven't started yet. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
like a good
all.
short introduction to the mythos.
Yeah.
mythos.
And
Yeah.
I did say 8 because I was pretty much amazed with the animated cutscenes for Shigure, which it was the highlight for me during that time when I streamed it. So we got a 7 or 6 out of 10. So David and Alcron, what do you guys rate it?
I would put
Were
it
there
at
any
also
mini
at
games at all in
an
this
8.
one? Or?
What? What?
No,
Mini
Your
game?
voice
no,
is
I think the bamboo
there were-
one came at chapter 3 if I remember correctly. So
Mhm.
no mini games.
Yeah.
It was barely anything that
Yeah, no.
chapter. So
It was basically the introduction, so we got the parallel
Yeah.
time layer unlocked.
Oh, one more thing about chapter 1.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Mm.
I was super shocked to find out that Genshin had a son.
Oh my god,
Oh,
yes.
Was Genshin? I don't even remember chapter 1.
That was the plot twist too. I wasn't expecting that.
That was the plot twist.
True.
Hey Jose, yes, we are recapping the story. Hey Vincenzo,
hello. We are just talking about
Also,
our afterthoughts.
I went
we're rating
into
chapter 1.
I went into this like kinda okay, the thing is, I'm like a big Samurai Warriors fan, like the
Uh-huh.
game series, and I've been like drawing parallels
Mhm.
to some characters, like Genshin being the parallel to Oda Nobunaga, and
Oh,
Reimi looking like Mori Ranmaru. So yeah.
that's a good parallel. So I guess overall, our rating is like around a 7 out of 10 for
Yeah.
overall.
Mm.
So yeah, that's
I'd say 8 for effort.
For me,
A for effort.
mhm, yeah, yeah. For me, I would give it an 8 because there's um the entirety of this mythos is them taking a lot of risk,
Mm-hmm.
especially with characters.
Yeah.
Because
Exactly.
compared to the past mythos, a lot of them were really like there's Sword of Wings and Steel. The
Mm-hmm.
first chapter was like if you know the solution, it's just like it's really short as well, right?
Yeah.
So
That's
So
like,
true.
yeah,
but
that's
that
true.
also has a bit of a
It's
mini
just a
game to
setup.
it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I agree with the with Calambo with with it being a 6 because it's really just you walking around.
Yeah.
It's
I
just a
do give it a
setup.
little bit of a leg up because like they are risking a lot,
Mm-hmm.
especially with characters.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Because compared to what was it? I forgot the name. The cardinal one.
Oh yeah, the cardinal
Yeah,
Is it a
scales.
risk though?
the
Because most people will
cardinal
look
one was
waiting
just
for
like
this. Would you
y-
say it's a risk, or would it say it's something they needed to do because everyone was asking for it?
no. I mean,
Mm,
no, because I would say it's a risk because in the cardinal of scales, they also had like two types of characters, right? One from the twilight layer and then one from the midnight layer.
yeah.
They're free to kill off any characters in the midnight layer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or and then we can still have those twilight layers alive, right?
Yeah. And to be
And here it's just
yeah,
like
that's
no,
true.
these are the only characters we have.
Yeah, that's true. And I do say that the Cardinals, the
So
KMS
like
mythos was the first mythos to introduce the alter units as well. So that's
Isaiah
it.
has a good
yeah,
question. Where's Genshin's son in the real time layer?
Yeah, that's true. I did look at it as like, where is Genshin's son in the real time layer? And if he does have a son to begin with, we never
yeah.
hear him
If I were
mention or like
I mean when the reveal of Reime being like the son and so on, even Shion doesn't know.
yeah, and he
yeah.
works for Genshin too. So
Yeah.
Maybe it
that's
never happened.
maybe there is a son, but Genshin never mentions it in
No,
like dialogue.
it's either Genshin is keeping it a secret.
Yeah. And you know how much of a ska I can't say it. You know what I'm talking about. So much of a ska that guy.
Playboy?
You know I can't say the word. It's in the dialogue. All right, so I guess
If I
Stupid
Okay.
word.
remember,
yeah. So I guess that's all for chapter 1. Any other points that you guys want to say before we move on to the next?
I think it was a good setup. I'm giving it
not
an
really
8
much.
because I mean the fact that it must have been a lot of work that goes into
Yeah.
this game. So I'm just giving it 8 for effort because
All right.
yes, I think it's just meant to be a very simple, straightforward thing at the start. Then it builds up from there.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yes.
When I forgot when they revealed this mythos, I was like a war in Eastern War, and then it immediately reminded me of like the Apocrypha, the Seven Colored Coalition, because Alter Shion appeared at the end of the chapter saying that there's a war coming soon, and apparently this was it.
I
Mm.
don't even remember that. Really?
Mm-hmm. I remember playing that Apocrypha chapter and I was like screaming, why did suddenly Alter Shion appear at the very end and mentioning something about a war?
But then what happened to
Oh
Tsuki?
yeah,
She barely had a role in this.
no,
Tsuki
because
Ultra.
they Alter Sukiha. At least for the first time we met her, she was
Yeah.
still really young. By the time
Mhm.
that this
So
mythos
basically,
happens,
this
there's like a
happens a
little bit
few
of a time
years.
skip.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
when we met Alter Sakiha during that one chapter, I guess the mythos that we're in now is like a couple of years after we met her, since it's already in
Yep.
war. And when you look at the Land of Ro, it's very much like very I guess, lighthearted to say. There was no mention of wars or anything during that story, if I can recall. So I
Also, it's
No,
in
I
the
mean
past. But
it
then
is
why did?
prehistoric. It is like a bit war there as well, cause like they were trying to like there
oh
was
yeah,
like
I
an
remember.
uprising or something about
So,
Suzaku.
Oh yeah, I
so,
remember.
so the
Yeah, now.
Apocrypha Tsukiha Altar side bit chapter was set a few years after Mythos, Eastern Mythos.
I think it was
No,
before.
Is
no, this
is that?
mythos
Yeah.
takes after the
After.
seven collision.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
this Mythos is after that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Yep.
the
Yeah.
apocrypha is like somewhere in few years before, and it was in a time loop, and then we broke the time loop.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's
So
correct, Vincenzo. Suki is a light blue head, one with a javelin,
Yeah. Okay, so
with a spear. Sorry.
thanks for that. We are done with
I just
our insights. Any more points before we move on? Before we miss out?
that's all my points.
Okay. All right.
yeah, my
So, oh yes.
yeah,
Anything else?
no more.
Okay. So
Nope.
we're now done with chapter 1, Shadow and Stray Fox. Next up, we have chapter 2, where we are introduced to Alter Tsubame, and we are now residing, and now we are trying to get away from, trying to make plans on how they can invade the castle, and then we learn a little bit more of Senya's backstory of like him and his mother, and then nearing the end of the chapter, we get the Kogane village burning down, and we get an encounter of an enemy that I really, really feel disgusted about. If you remember from the highlights of my stream, you know I am very much disgusted with that monster. The design is amazing. I just
Oh
don't
yeah,
like
Which
the
it.
monster
face
is this?
stealer.
Why is the monster disgusting?
It looks disgusting to me. It looks like flesh. It
The
looks
face
like
stealer.
flesh. Yeah,
Face?
that one.
How does it look like?
So
I don't remember.
so this chapter was released on October 24. So what were your guys' thoughts on chapter 2? Considering that we just finished chapter 1 and now we're in chapter 2. How do you guys feel about chapter 2?
I just have one thing to say.
What?
Welcome to the rice fields.
Welcome to the rice fields. And I will say this, the forest that we went through, I forgot the name of it, but comparing that to our real time layer forest, the one with the autumn leaves, it's very much different to what we have from the parallel time layer. So if I had to guess,
Oh yeah.
it would be around spring or summer season. So since it's not yet fall in the parallel time
Yeah.
layer.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Mm-hmm. So what other points that you guys want to share about what happened? I have already said my point, and that point was the monster that was attacking Kogane village, which is very much disgusting to say the least. It was so scary.
Is chapter 2 where that thing with our favorite sister happens, or is that chapter 3?
I
Not
had
sure.
well,
This is the farming village, right? Where
Yeah.
we have the farming mini.
we have the
game.
farming mini game. We're able to see a little bit of like Senya's soft side when he tries to help out
Mhm.
with Chihiro, and then we get introduced to who is it? Was it Suzume or the other person? I forgot.
Was it Chihiro?
There were 3 sisters:
Was it-
Tsubame, Suzume, and Kamome.
Kamome.
Kamome
Um,
is
Chihiro.
Kamome and Tsubame, and then
Kamome.
Suzume is the youngest.
Suzume. I don't know why I said that. Anyway, this is where we meet Tsubame Alta too, right?
Yeah, this
Where she
is where-
becomes an Unlock Playable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would say that is the highlight of this chapter. She is like an amazing wind character. So one of my favorite. And plus, I love the way she looks.
Mhm.
I wasn't a fan of the farming. It wasn't a fun mini game. Like if you play JRPGs like Final Fantasy VII, for example, those are fun mini games. And
Mhm.
there are some, and in this game too, there's some good ones. But the farming one was kind of. It was. I don't even.
was
know.
lackluster
just
to
a
say
thing.
the
means
least.
to an
Like there
end.
was the farming
It
game
did
was
not
a little bit
last long, right?
lacking. in like how you want to play it, is I guess, like lacking things that words that
Mm-hmm.
were a potential addition to the mini games,
Mm.
I
Thought it was
guess.
something that we could even play after we finish the chapter, but apparently
Yeah.
not. It's just something like we do to progress the chapter, basically.
Yeah, and the only thing that we get out of that is
Yeah.
like the items that we get that we can then traverse into the bamboo forest area next to the village.
Yeah.
So yeah. Uh
My only points, like in the that I jot down for this chapter, is be plotting and progressing.
mhm. And
Nothing
yeah.
much. I wrote nothing much.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. I think the highlight of this chapter was when
Mm.
I believe Shion taking up Senya as his student, if I recall, or like Shion having to teach
Oh
Senya
yeah,
how to use the
definitely.
blade and like teach him how to swing the blade, like getting used to
That
it.
was cool.
Yeah, it was a good like teacher student bond that they were sharing during the chapter, and then giving some advice from Shion to Senya, which was really part of the whole ordeal of his character development as we go further along with the story. So that was another highlight for me.
Yeah. What was it again? 3,000 swings daily.
Yep. 3,000 swings
Yeah,
daily.
I should be
that's gonna
doing
do.
that.
That's
Imagine
gonna
I
doing
should be
hurt.
that in
doing that.
real
Come on,
life.
Clambo. Let's do it.
Imagine doing that in real life. Would you be exhausted? I feel like I would be exhausted after like what, 50 swings?
I can. This morning I did
Yeah.
I'll be
about
tired after
5,000
10.
swings, so
Dude, I can't even do 3,000 in a single day, let alone 5,000.
I did 5,000 on the way to the toilet. It was easy.
Oh my god. So aside from that, what do you guys think your rating would be for chapter 2? Because I feel like this chapter has a bunch of like quiet moments until you get to the very end with like the boss battle
Yeah.
with, what's her name, calamity something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mother of Calamity. Yeah, that's her
Yeah.
name.
So what would you guys rate chapter 2 out of a 10, out of from 1 to 10?
Solid 6 for me.
6 for
What do you rate
Zara?
it?
6.
Yeah, 6. I guess I'll go with 7. I guess because the highlight for me was of course the development of, Xenia and his like bond with Shion as his teacher and all that such. So I'm gonna give it a 7.
I would also
I'm a
give
little
it a
bit.
6. Yeah.
6. I
Oh,
hear
yeah,
a 6.
you go, Columbo.
Okay. Yeah, okay. All right. So I'm a little bit conflicted here. Just like to go back and forth a little bit. Like
Okay.
this chapter, I'm conflicted because like I do enjoy Tsubami. She's like one of my favorite character. I love her design, thick
Mhm.
thighs, pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But what kind of like bothers me about this chapter is I don't know if you guys remember, but when Scott did the video, like there was so many and like there was so much an emphasis on that farming mini
Mm-hmm.
games. And another reason does that a lot is they will implement the mini game, they would implement a cool system, and they will drop it like right after.
Yeah.
So
I
I'm like, yeah,
guess.
that's kind of cool. Like I was expecting, like while watching a video with Scott, I was expecting to actually like, all right, cool, we're getting like, a little village. It's gonna be a mini game where we need to, I don't know, like grow some rice. It's gonna play a role in the futures, but no, it's like you said, it's legit. Like you click, kill the bugs, put the seeds or whatever, and then you're done. So yeah, I'm a little bit conflicted because like that chapter introduced my favorite character, but everything else was pretty much a letdown. So yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of excited for the mini
Yeah.
game as well. And I was thinking that we could like replay it, or there's like other things we could do after we completed the chapter.
But it was just a
yeah.
one-time thing for the chapter to progress.
Yep, kind of disappointing.
Yeah. So we got
Yeah.
6 and a 7 from me. David, what would you rate it? What would you
I'll,
rate?
I'll give it an 8 for effort. I love Tsubame Yalta.
Okay.
She made this. She made this chapter worthwhile. That farming thing, I was like, what the hell, man? This is the thing. Every episode in this mythos is lacking a good. I guess none of the mythos really had engaging mini games, are they? It's not really their thing. It's more of a story-driven.
Yeah.
Yeah, there weren't
Yeah.
a lot of mini games. I mean,
It's more
if
like find
Yeah,
some
we're doing a
fun
lot.
stuff,
I mean,
right?
if you would have, well, the KMS Mythos had the La Vie and Rose mini game where you can
Oh
Yeah.
get
yeah.
rewards, but like
Yeah,
in
but it was
this
kind of
mini
bad.
game, you just farm, help out in the village, and then story progression. You will not be able to play this again. You only get the items.
Yeah.
But
The
I
Livy
actually
and
think
Rose
that's
one was like,
I actually think it's more
oh
like
yeah, you go first.
another Eden kind of like problem. Like this is not just related to like this mythos, but like if you looked at the game as a whole, there's a bunch of cool mini games that they just do it for a certain amount of time and they just stop it. Like
Mm-hmm.
we had the motorcycle that was kind of neat. I didn't
Mm.
like it, but the auction house was kind of like a fun mini games for some
Yeah.
people. There's the
Mm-hmm.
Pokemon or monster battle. Like all these things are kind of cool, but like they're in their own little bubble, and I'm like, why? You guys put so much time and effort. Just bring it back to other mythos or other time periods or whatever. Make it work, so that way we can get used to that system. Than just making it once and like scrapping it for the
Like
other
look
chapter.
look how Final Fantasy has a card game. You can play it all over the world
Yeah,
of Final Fantasy
yeah.
7.
They could have implemented something like that, like a TCG for another Eden.
I mean, I'm not a fan of card games, but like even like the Pokemon thing that we have in the game is kind of fun. The motorcycle is another one that I like. Even fishing, that kind of like took a back seat at some
Mm-hmm.
point because no one really cared about fishing.
Yeah.
So yeah, the trapping mini game was also terrible, but at least they're trying something. It's just instead of like putting the work, just update it, make it better. Like the roguelike with the no access was amazing in my opinion, but they dropped it. So I'm like,
Wait, there was also the MMORPG with like the IDA school, right?
Oh
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
that
that
one.
one. That
yeah.
was a
Oh
huge
yeah,
grind. I
that's
never
been
I
so
never got into
long.
that.
That took me so
No.
long. I was like, okay, I'm gonna be honest. I have not completed all of it. I have not completed all of the mana stuff from the IDA story. I did not.
I did not
They're not
even do.
perfect, but
I have not touched it since.
But it was fun.
It was a fun. It was a fun experience. It just felt a little bit out of place and felt boring until near the end. I guess for me at least. Cause it
I like the motorbike mini game. That was fun. Yeah, thanks
yeah,
for
the
reminding me of that,
motorbike
Clem. I
minigame was
completely forgot
really
about
really
that.
fun.
I saw it. I was like, oh my god, they're doing like an FF7 thing, which is awesome. It's one
Oh
of
my
their best
god.
mini game in that. So, and I was like, oh, okay. So you got 3 tracks. There's no reward to connect to it, and then you guys are not doing anything more. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
all right. That's kind of disappointing a little bit, but whatever.
Yeah.
Once you did the whole mana thing, because you can go on dates in that one, right?
Yes, you can, but I think I
Yeah,
did like 1 or
somewhat.
2 characters. I follow a guide and I cheesed it. It's not worth it. Don't do it.
Unless you want to get mana and then you get like there's a hidden like this. It took me so long. I was like my mana was still at level 2 when I was like, getting through the story, but I didn't realize you could get her to level 3 over Valor Chat. So I was like, "What? How do you get the level 3 Valor Chat for mana?" It was like way like really really hidden and I did not see it at all. Maybe that. But anyways, any more points that you guys would like to share for chapter 2 before we move on?
Nope.
Alright.
Tsubame
Nope,
looks so
not
good.
really. Since it's really,
Tsubame is the perfect woman. I love
since
her
it's
so
Looks
really,
much.
amazing.
If Scott were to be in this after talk right now, he would say I guess he would have the highlight of ninja cats. Ninja cats.
Exactly, Ninja Cats. Where's the
Ninja Cats are
sidekick?
pretty cool.
Perfect. Look, set up for
Oh
a sidekick.
yeah. Where's the opportunity for the ninja cat
Cat
sidekicks?
sidekick.
And then as a reward, you get the Ninja Cat outfit for your cat.
That
It
would
was so. It was right
yes,
there.
that's what
that
the
would
It
have
was
been
right
a
there.
big incentive. Oh
We
my
were
god.
There's a setup
We
right
were
there.
robbed. We were robbed.
Maybe they just need more budget from Isaiah. Isaiah just need to buy more. Maybe they just ran out of money.
Maybe if they
couldn't
do like
afford big mini
you
games.
know the one part of the any Mythos series where they do like a follow up, but it's a specific character. Like they did one for Pry. I guess they would imagine if they would do that for Alter Subame, and then we could get the sidekick, the Ninja Cat sidekick. Imagine if they do that.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. But
That would
like
be really
with
cool.
how chapter 7 finished, we need like a proper closer because there's some questions that we need to
Yeah.
Oh
have some
man, yeah, I
answers.
can't wait to talk about that.
yeah.
So I guess we're all done with our major points and talked it out all out on chapter 2. So let's go ahead and move on with chapter 3, entitled Ashen Skies and Ember Petals, where we are introduced to Izuna, the Black Tengu, and of course we get to learn more about Senya's backstory, where we encounter Genshin like having a standoff with one another. And to my okay, I'm gonna say this first. The highlight from chapter 3 was the big plot twist. The big reveal plot twist.
It's basically the plot twist upon plot twist upon plot twist upon plot twist.
Yep. It's the gift that keeps on giving, Crystalites. It's the gift that keeps on giving. Like when I don't know if you guys have seen my reaction, but when I saw the fact that Genshin is Senya's father, I was screaming my lungs out. Because I didn't want to believe it at first. But then, nearing the end of the chapter, we get to learn that Reimei is actually the body double for Senya, and that Senya is Genshin's son. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
and also Senya being half Spectre.
yeah,
So
that's
much drama.
too much drama.
Crazy.
Yeah. And wasn't this the same
Yeah.
chapter where, you know, right? Was this the same chapter
Dr.
that?
Akane.
Yup. Oh, yep.
Yes.
Yes, this is the
Yes.
same chapter
Yeah.
where
Yes.
we finally meet Shion's trauma arc. Trauma arc.
Yep, and
It's huge
our
drama.
Shion left the party.
Dude,
Also, I
when
looked
I
the,
look,
Yeah.
the
listen,
dueling function in Ronchi. They locked their jewels.
I
They
was
locked them jewels.
so
I like the dual feature. Yeah, the dual feature is really fun to play. So, chapter 3. I have so many revelations. So many. I went through the 7 layers of emotions. Shock, maybe 2. Shock and trauma. Just
So
absolutely.
this is basically the chapter I got so stressed over Shion cause
Same.
why did he like
You got stressed.
leave? Because it's
Same.
not your Akane, it's the outer Shion's Akane. Your Akane is still alive, you dummy.
But here's the thing, Zara. When I saw those
But it's on point on him.
when I saw Shion's like new sprites where his face is just covered in shadow and his eyes just widened, I'm like, oh my god, this man's scarred for
Ooh, yeah,
life.
that's
This
stressful.
man is
Yeah.
scarred for life.
Oh, that's your reaction. My reaction was like, we're getting an extra style Shion.
That was
But he was
your
stressed.
that was your presumption.
That was
and
my
it happened.
reaction.
It happened. It literally happened. You were wishing for that and it happened. And then all
Yeah,
of us
that was my reaction the moment I saw that sprite.
no.
We're getting an extra style Shion.
So how
I've
did
been
you guys
riding
so
that.
how did everyone else feel about the reveal that Senya was Genshin's son? How did everyone else
I
feel?
think
Super
I think that
shocked.
yeah, I think that chapter 3 is where it kind of like kicked off the entire mythos. I think chapter
Yeah.
3 was especially the duel on the rooftop with that amazing. I might be wrong, but yeah, we
Yeah, it's
finished
the
this
duel on the
chapter.
rooftop.
Yeah.
It's a duel on the rooftop. I love the song. I think the song was really amazing. Like I think that chapter 3 was like where everything started to kick off.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to backtrack a little bit, but like let's talk about like Izuna as the character too. I did find her interesting. At first, I didn't really like her, because she was kind of like bubbly, but her kit was amazing, so I kind of like learned to like her a little bit.
Hey, at
But
least we
yeah,
have
the
a new
duel
winged character, which got
that is
me
true.
very curious as to like since we have winged characters in the Zerberia continent with like Clark and Mistrair, what if Izuna would be connected to those winged beings? Imagine there would be like a story
That'd be cool.
connecting all of it.
No,
I
I
just
don't
want to
think so.
I just want a
I
feature where she could put like, and that's not just for her, but for also like other character with masks. But like, I want a feature where we can actually like make characters that have their mask, because like having their mask on their side or their head is pretty cool, but like on their face is a little bit better.
Oh,
Especially like with Senya too, like he has like a hat I want him to have like a hat on his head, not on the back of his head.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I'm just complaining. But yeah, chapter 3 is where everything kicked off,
Yeah.
and from there, like I love Genshin. I think he's a good villain. Sad from like what happened. Like I really love the fact that he's just evil for being evil. It's like yeah, I'm a
And he's a big
like, yeah,
he's a
yeah.
big
He's like yeah,
Why
like
can't you say
I'm
the
a,
word Melody?
I can't. I might get TOS.
Family friendly.
Really?
I'm,
Is that a banned word? I said it.
mean-
I was calling everyone that word in my stream.
I just try to
me-
avoid
me
it. It's
too.
not my type of saying, okay? It's not in my vocabulary to say it.
Oh, fair enough.
So like, yeah.
You can
The-
say it, but like if you don't want to say it, I'll stop myself from saying it.
Yeah, that's true. So I just like I try to censor myself, so you notice that.
Best new characters, says Jordan.
But yeah, I was
Snowman, Genshin.
about to say like the Genshin in this time layer is like a better villain than the Genshin in our timeline.
Yeah, cause the Genshin
Yeah.
in our time layer, he's just a big old scuff. But the Genshin
He's
in
just
the
a joke.
parallel time layer, he has character. He has character. I just hate
Mhm.
him.
But
I just hate him for being such a good character that
Yes.
all of it came crashing
Especially when
down.
you finish it, chapter 7, right? Then you oh,
Yeah.
well, like
I
I
love
just
villains
like
like that.
I just like him because like he's evil for being evil, and like his goal just like yeah, I just want to rule the internet. Like I don't want to kill gods. Like I don't want to control the world. It's just I'm just a bad person. Like I'm just evil, kind of like
He's
Kefka
just
from Final
bad
Fantasy.
to the
Like,
bone. He just wants
Yeah, he's like,
war.
yeah, he's like he doesn't have like a giant like arcing plans of like I want to take dominion over the world, control everyone. It's like no, I'm
Yeah.
just a bad person.
Okay, yeah,
That's it.
that's
So I was
true.
like, ah, it's kind of refreshing. That's
Yeah.
kind of neat.
Mm-hmm.
So
So
I liked it.
One
now
of my
that we
favorite
talked about
scenes in the
Genshin,
mythos was
Yeah? you go ahead.
sorry. One of my favorite scenes was when, before the duel happened, Senya and Genshin were talking, right? And it's just and I think one of the before Genshin, kicks the bucket. What's this? He really plays with Senya, right?
Mm-hmm.
He like in his last minutes, he's just like, "Hey, I'm going to reveal a truth to you," and it's just like, just so you can
I'm
live
gonna
with
reveal
that
your
trauma.
lore. Peace out.
Yeah,
He's like, I'm gonna
Peace
reveal
out,
the
bud.
FNAF timeline. Boom! It's insane. He's so like. If you
Yeah.
compare the real time layer Genshin and then parallel time layer, I think that parallel time layer Genshin is more cynical and very manipulative in his tone of voice. If you read the if one reads the dialogue, what would he sound like? Manipulative, like cynical towards Senya. Like it's so insane how much character he has. Whereas the other guy, I'm just gonna throw myself out there and just be a douche. Like a crazy person, an interesting guy who does not do anything but rule.
Yeah. Also, like I mentioned earlier, how I draw parallels to like samurai warriors
Mm-hmm.
and Genshin being like Oda Nobunaga.
Oh.
The part with like the fire in the castle really reminds me of the duel between Oda Nobunaga and Akechi Mitsuhide in Honoji Castle.
Ooh.
And it was here also I was like, Genshin is not dead, right? He's gonna come back at some point, and well, I was kind of half correct. 'Cause,
Yep.
you know, I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, he's not dead. He's gonna return somehow at some point.
Yeah.
He's gonna
I
return
mean
as
that's
a
a
very.
very Genshin thing to do.
Yeah, that's a very Genshin
Yeah.
thing to do.
That's pretty hilarious. That actually made me laugh.
Yep.
I'm just a little bit sad that he
I'm just
didn't-
going to
didn't,
come
like,
back to life.
As a
Yeah,
snowman.
like, I just wish he played a bigger role. Like that would have been kind of fun if he was the actual bad guy. Like, yeah, like I'm hard to kill. I have like I'm goal oriented. So like, yeah, I'm not a good person. I just want to be evil. So like, yeah, he would have been funny and like kind of cool. Like if he were just like he becomes like an evil snowman and then you kill them and like just like keeps getting bigger as a monster or something.
Yeah,
That would have been a hilarious boss. It's actually a good idea. They could have done
boss.
something like that, right? That'd be pretty funny.
Yeah, just like like I'm kind of like Team Rocket from Pokemon, like kind of like humoristic and like they're bad people, but they're not really bad people.
Yeah.
But except for him, he's actually.
You
bad
know what
people.
Genshin reminds me of? His character
Genshin
kind of
Impact.
reminds me of William Afton, where he comes back. He always
I
comes
was about
back.
to say that. I always come back.
He comes back, and I'm like, oh my god, this man's pulling a William Afton from Five Nights at Freddy's, and I cannot. Oh god. So now that we talked about Genshin, let's talk about what happened at the end of the chapter. Alter Akane's quote unquote death. How did everyone feel about that? Aside from me and Zara, we already talked about it.
boy.
Happy.
What?
So
I was happy. I was happy. I was happy. Here's the reason why. I was
Defend
happy because I
yourself.
was like,
Defend
all right,
yourself before I throw
I'm gonna
myself. I throw
I'm
myself
gonna
under
defend
the
myself.
bus.
All right. So I would have been happy for any other characters in the game. All right. No matter
Okay.
which characters, I'm happy just because I'm like, all right, finally, there's some weights, and the studio is not afraid to kill characters. Because it's fun when actions have like consequences, and like losing a character is a great way for us a player to feel that we're connected to these characters, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, all right, cool. They're killing off a character. All right, fine, whatever. Like I get it. Like with the gacha mechanic that could have like created other problems. But who cares? They're killing off a character. That's interesting. That's nice. Like that's kind of cool. Like Aldo needs to deal with like seeing someone that he knows dying. Like everyone needs to deal with that, which is interesting because otherwise it's just everyone is safe, and that's not cool. Like we need to be
Yeah.
scared for characters that we love because otherwise it kind of like it's just kind of like boring for me
Mhm.
personally. Like there's no tension for the storyline. So that's why I was happy that she died.
Oh my god. Ronshi said, I remember y'all cheering for Shion to be a villain. Mr. Villain
Oh, yeah.
Shion.
Yeah, so as soon as she died, my I mean on my stream I called it. I was like, I want Shion to go full on kind of like Ronin berserker, just like, all right, you guys killed my sister, everyone must die. Yeah, and then yeah, just not Ronin, like yeah, sorry, like anti-hero, just like all right, he's the actual main bad guys. Maybe like team up with Genshin, maybe he finds some kind of like evil power or whatever. But like having a good character turn evil and that we have to fight, reason with him or something. But that would have been an interesting story, personally.
Yeah, that would be the case as well.
Like same. That was also in my head as well. And seeing that our Akane also ended up at the parallel world, I was
Yeah,
like, oh,
yeah.
she's gonna come slap some sense into our
no.
Shion to like come back to the light side because he went to the dark side, and maybe also console alter Shion, which he kinda did at some point.
Yeah.
She just basically gives like alter Shion more resolve to. Well, we'll come to that.
Yeah, we'll get to the point. So, what would
Yeah.
you guys rate chapter 3? Honestly, for me, I would rate it a 9 out of 10 because it, like you said, Clambo, chapter 3 is where everything kicked off into high gear. We ran from 0 to 100 real quick on chapter 3.
Yeah,
Yep,
I'll give it a 9 as well.
I echo you guys. A 9 would have been great. Also, was it is it the chapter, the image when everyone is like in the river taking a bath?
No, wait.
No,
No, not yet.
Wait,
not
what?
yet.
No,
Not
no,
yet.
no.
Not yet.
Where
All
can I
right,
no,
download this photo? What?
not yet because
Not yet. That one
Nekoko
is
wasn't
with,
revealed yet.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nikoko
right,
wasn't
the
there
Coco
yet.
was there. All right. So I guess it's the other chapter, right?
So we rated at
So you're
9.
gonna
Now we know what
deduct
Climber is
points
going to
based
rate
on
the next
that?
chapter.
You're gonna deduct and add points based on that?
So what were your guys' other ratings? David, Alcron?
Yeah, definitely a 9 because there's just a lot of good moments here. The villain is amazing. We get to see more of like how Shion develops as we go on.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, oh boy,
Yep.
things are not looking good.
Things are not looking too good.
Oh yeah, the introduction of Izuna is a
Mhm.
very interesting one because at least for me, because like Izuna's especially in this setting of like a very war torn world, we
Yeah.
have the very 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 childish character in our midst, and she's like she's interesting. She's
Yeah.
really interesting, and it's been interesting to see her growth
Mhm.
further on the chapters.
Yeah. So, are we all on the same agreement that we're rating this chapter a 9? Oh, David?
Nope. I'm giving it 8 for effort. So
You were rating 8 from chapter 1, 2, and 3 now.
yeah, I'd say 8 for effort.
What do you need?
Yeah, I love that bit where the major, all the twists was great. So yeah, 8.
All right. So, I guess overall we're giving it a 9.4, 9.5 in agreement.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a perfect 9, but like, hey. So, that's for chapter 3. Let's move on to chapter 4, entitled What Remains of What Was, where we get to introduce ourselves to Extra Style Nekoko, and we get to see the Spirit Beast for the very first time in the parallel time layer. And I guess we also learned a little bit more of who Senya is through resident wing being Yahiko. And what else? What is there? Oh yeah, Nekoko parallel time layer is spelled with a K. What do you say to that, Scott? I have some beef with you.
This is the part where we climb the mountain, right?
Yes, this is the part where we climb the mountain, we meet Yahiko, we find Senya buried in the ground with his head sticking out, which was by the way, which was really funny. He was like a kabedon, like when octopus like goes into the sand and they hide themselves. Yeah, that's that. But it's a punishment rather than a hiding mechanism. And this was also the same chapter where we are introduced to the Dragon Incense subquest, where the dragon is a little too hard to beat, and I have not done that yet. I've not
Yeah,
done it at all.
understandable.
It's so. What were your guys' feelings about chapter 4? How did you feel about ES Nikoko's appearance during the storyline, and how did you feel about Yahiko's reveal about everything else? And learning that we have a Nekoko. I will say this: Nekoko spelled with a K exists. It's just in the parallel time layer.
Is it really?
It's spelled with a K,
Yeah.
and our Nekoko is spelled with a
Yeah, I think
C.
there was a bit of.
I
Yeah, there was a bit
literally
of, like,
talked
a-
about it during
I-
my stream. The Nekoko in the parallel time layer is spelled with a K. And Nekoko in the real time layer is spelled with a C. What do you say to that, Scott?
You know. Okay, that aside.
Anyways, I'm like
Sorry for the rant. That's
basically
just
Hey, are you starting beef with
frustrated
Scott?
this chapter.
no. It's a long time beef.
Yes.
Alcron would know.
Drama.
Alcron with no. Okay,
Yeah.
Alcron knows.
I'm gonna do a YouTube video with clickbait title like why Melody
No,
hates
no, 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 no,
Scott
no,
from
no, no, no,
another
no, no,
reading.
no, 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 no. It's the only time I have beef with
Lovingly,
Scott is when
lovingly,
he
of
mentions Nekoko, and I spell Nekoko with a K in chat, and he always denies it. It's like, who is this Nekoko? I don't know of a Nekoko with a K. And whenever he tries to mention Nekoko, I say Nekoko with a K in chat. So that's the context. Alcron knows. He knows.
I'm drafting out a clickbait video as we speak.
No, don't do it, Scott.
So no.
Back to what we
Do you
were
want me to explain
discussing.
now?
Back to what we were discussing. Chapter 4. How did
Okay,
everyone
okay.
feel? How did everyone feel about chapter 4?
Frustrated.
Okay.
Frustrated.
Okay.
Frustrated?
Let it
Frustrated.
go, man.
I don't know. I just like I didn't like that Raimi suddenly wants to continue with the wars. Like, why?
Oh
That
yeah.
frustrates me a lot. That part, because
He- He's trying to
really
become the new Genshin.
exactly, and then also him throwing Alter Shion into jail
Oh yeah.
was this chapter.
I think that was the
Yeah, that was
time.
rude.
I think
Just
at first we
Alter
didn't know
Shion,
about
like,
it, but once we got to know more,
Mhm.
it was revealed that I guess Reimei was revealed that he's, you know, that nearing the end.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
we find
mean,
out why later.
Alter Shion was like dropping hints at it, but yeah. He found out like Reime's secret, and that's why he was thrown to jail.
Yeah. How did everyone feel about Yahiko's first appearance?
I thought he was awesome.
Loved it
He reminded
because
me
he
of the.
reminds me.
Have you seen Kill Bill 2? Like he reminded me of like the sensei you see in the mountains.
Oh,
That kind of
I've
vibe.
not.
I liked it.
I don't know Kill Bill. I have not watched it. There's a song called Kill Bill, and that's the only experience. That's the song. I have not seen the movie. Sorry about that. Had to let
Oh,
it
and I
out.
also like the relationship between Senya and Izuna, like this very sibling like relationship between
Yeah,
them.
very sibling
Very
coded.
reminiscent stuff.
I ship it.
I ship it.
I
I
do it
ship.
because I have a different ship for Senya.
Oh,
What does that mean?
Oh,
who do you ship with
I ship
Senya?
Senya with Alter Yukino.
Oh, that's
Really?
cute.
You know, Senya is a child.
Oh yeah.
Because you see how like Alter Yukino always like defends Senya at some point,
Oh,
even though she
Yeah.
always like takes it back and
Oh, Yukino. I was
way, like,
thinking Yakumo. I was like, what?
conversation and
Yakumo.
such.
I was like, what? That's
Yakumo.
weird. But yeah, now Yukino. Yeah, now I know who you're talking about.
Yukino.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yakumo's
I see
partner's a
Senya and
bottle of
Izuna
booze.
more like a sibling type of
Siblings.
relationship.
Yeah, they're more sibling coded than a rivalry code. Like they have a sibling rivalry code.
Yeah, but yeah, I ship Senya with Alter Yukino.
The thing about Yahiko is that I think I did mention this before in my stream that Yahiko is basically the embodiment of losers become winners. I think I said that.
Yes, I see it.
I
I
mean-
see it.
I think I mentioned it during one of my streams, and I was like, why does this, since it says pervert, I was like, oh no, this guy reminds me of losers become winners.
I'm gonna defend Fluffy here for a second, but Yahiko is the typical kind of like pervy sensei, like
Sage, Pervy
Yeah.
Sage
Yeah.
from Naruto.
pervy sage from like a Dragon
Yeah.
Ball. I personally think that we should have like gotten more of him because I think he was hilarious. I actually liked him a lot.
It's kind of like, didn't you?
Make
I
him
think
playable.
one of you mentioned like I don't know if it was my chat. Like one of them mentioned he's like Jiraiya from Naruto.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was going to say
That's
that.
exactly
Yeah.
what I was thinking.
Yeah, my reference is a bit older than that, but yes, he's Jiraiya from Naruto.
Yeah.
Also, we need like older characters in this game. I'm old.
What
so
about
we need older.
Zilpha? Zilpha's old.
He's really old, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about?
Yeah, but we don't really get a lot of Silva moments, right?
I mean,
I want an older
I'm
woman.
old
Like
as
you
well,
can just see the wrinkles on her face and her arms, and you can see the veins on her thighs. I want someone like that.
Oh my god.
Just real wrinkly.
we
Now,
have Zilva like a grandpa character. Now we need a grandma character.
oh yeah, we need
Yeah,
a grandma.
Kind of neat, actually.
We need a
That'd be kinda
grandma.
cool.
That'd be funny.
So
that'd be
now
kinda
that we
neat.
talked about Yahiko, well, how did everyone feel about the sudden, like the first appearance of the spirit beast outside of main story? How did everyone feel about that?
Like that. I think her design was pretty neat. It was pretty cool. Too bad like you don't really see her much, but yeah, like Dark Nikoko was actually pretty like cool when she pops in.
Yeah, ES Nikoko
Um,
was really fun to see her change into that form. And then when I saw the spirit beast, I was like, oh my gosh, they added someone from the main. They added this creature from the main story, and then putting into Eastern Mythos. And that was interesting to me as well. Because if I recall, that spirit beast appears in Antiquity Garulia, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Antiquity Garulia, and now it appears in the present parallel Garulia, and is connected to Nikoko.
It also appears in present as well. If I remember, it was trapped in the what was it? In the prison.
Oh yeah, I
Where-
remember that. It's been a long
Karakuri
time.
prison, was it?
Yeah, it's been
Yeah.
a long time. So I did kind of remember there was like an imprisonment for the spirit beast in the present location, present time. So yeah, I guess that's about that. And of course, how did everyone feel with ES Nikoko's appearance? Like,
Amazing.
What?
I love the cat puns. I mean, I don't know. Her introduction was really interesting because the cat puns,
Mm-hmm.
the how especially for the development of Nekoko going forward.
Yeah.
How she handles this.
Mm-hmm.
Newfound power.
Yeah.
Newfound.
Like her connection to the spirit beast and everything. I
Yeah, and
wonder, I wonder
there's also
if
the
this
small
Nekoko,
tidbit.
yeah, I wonder if this ES Nekoko version is going to be like something of a similar design. If they're going to introduce Alter Nekoko in the near future, that would be interesting.
Yeah,
So, what would you guys rate Chapter 4?
A solid
solid eight.
8.
I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
8.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'll say 8 too. It's a really good, like we have
Say
like
7.
yeah, we had like a traumatic chapter from chapter 3, and now we're getting something a little bit more lighthearted but not near the end. So, yeah, I guess a 7 or 8 that would be a good rating. So, I guess we
Yeah, I
have
really liked
I'll
Izuna.
give it a
She's
7 because there's also one more thing that frustrates me other than Reimi wanting to like continue the war
yeah.
is that Shion actually met Akane, and well, my theory about Akane slapping sense into Shion didn't work because Shion's like, the brother you knew is dead. Like,
Dion.
your sister is right there, dude. Like, what the heck?
Oh yeah,
yeah, it's
like
so
there were.
weird.
I think
What?
they were in the Kunlun Mountains. Yeah, they were in the Kunlun Mountains.
Yep. And at that point, Shion was like killing quote unquote innocents
Yep.
right in front of Akane. So,
Yeah.
like,
So
your sister is still alive and right in front of you. What? You were all upset because of Alter Akane is not even your Akane. Your Akane is right there already, dude.
you have a lot to say about Shion during that story, girl.
No.
You have a lot to say. And to be fair, I don't know if it's like coincidence or not, but like Shion's VA in Japanese is the same VA for Cloud, and I don't know if their trauma came together or something. I have no idea, but like, yeah, the trauma's there for both characters. They're both there. The trauma is
Yeah.
both there. So when's the Final Fantasy collab? Another Eden? When's the Final Fantasy collab? Another Eden? Give it to me. Don't be shy.
Which
Who
Final
knows?
Fantasy? Which Final Fantasy? That's the question.
Which one though?
7?
says
It's either
Yazuki
7 or
5-star.
15, because I love me my blondes. I love Prompto from 15 and Cloud from 7.
I don't think we're gonna get one. We may get one
No.
for 14 because it's coming out on mobile, but hopefully I'll get proven wrong. I just don't think we will.
I
But-
think that if we had a chance for the Final Fantasy collab, it would have been when the other Final Fantasy 7 game was on mobile. I don't remember the name of it, but I think David and I played. It's the one where where Tifa has a bunch of cool skin. I don't remember the name of it, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think-
Crisis. No. Ever Crisis.
Ever
something like
Crisis?
that?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think they're gonna do a final, like, if they ever do a Final Fantasy collab, do you think it would be more suited if it was 16 collabing? Because it's very present time, like, era. Like with, like, with what's his name? Clive, Jill. They're
Yeah.
very much in medieval times, and I feel like it fits in the bill for like our present what's it called? Minglena continent. It
I
feels
mean, to be fair, we have the Persona collab and it's in the present and not the future.
yeah, that's true. It's like more of a modern era for us.
Mm-hmm.
So when's the part 3?
Um,
When's the part 3 to Persona 5? I'm asking for Goro, please. I want.
For me, is when is part 3 for the Tale series collab?
And what would be the Tales of games that we're gonna be collab? Because
Please, I want Legendia and Abyss.
oh my gosh. Well, we'll
I'm a
see
big
what they
Tales
have in
fan.
store in the near future. Who knows if we're gonna get one collab or 2 collabs this year. We did have 2 collabs last year, which was Koff and Atelier, Ryza. I wonder if they're gonna do a single collab or double collab. Who knows what they have in store?
Maybe a part 2. Who knows?
Maybe. Maybe.
They might announce later. Who knows?
Yeah,
This
who
early
knows?
on?
We're at the mercy of them.
This early on, we're gonna get a collab announcement early on, girl. We just got we're like 4 months into 2025, and you're asking for a collab.
I mean, we don't really have a
who
lot of
knows?
plans
Anything
to
can
say
happen.
other than main story.
That's true. The major point is that we're getting main story content again for like that's gonna be
Yeah.
major stuff happening for main story.
Mm-hmm.
So
Jordan, that is not how I look like in real life. I am clean shaven, but I am 3 foot tall, and I look like Mr. Popo.
3 foot tall? What? What are you,
Oh,
Samora?
yeah, Jordan asked.
How did you know? How did you know?
Obviously, because your favorite character is Samora. You
I'm more
always
like a
ask
Mr.
for.
Popo,
I
you know,
remember you
Dragon Ball.
asking for Samora during our first few collaborations. You were always asking for Samora.
I got the reference. It's awesome.
All right. So, do we have any other points for chapter 4 before we move on to chapter 5?
Yeah. That's just I saw the question. Jordan said, anyone think there will be any more like Sin and Steel epilogue content? I would say so as well. I would say yes as well.
Yeah, I would say so. We did.
Because there's
we
a lot.
will go to
There's-
that. I have things to say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Zara has a full.
We'll leave that for chapter 7.
I was waiting also for chapter 7, but definitely they need to make an epilogue.
Yeah.
Just for Let's go
Come
to
to
chapter
it. We'll
7.
come to
I
it.
can see Zara holding like 2 pages of like all of the things she has to say.
Wait. How do you know I actually wrote 2 pages of notes?
Wait, what?
Last night I went through all my streams and just like put.
You're
wrote down
like
notes
you're
in my
like you're
notebook
like
for the
you're like the
pages.
gamer who's like taking notes of everything, and I'm like, I have some questions. You're like going to a press conference and asking the directors like, why are you doing this to me?
Meanwhile, me, I just put everything in my memory because I just remember all of the lore for some reason.
All right, so you have me, the very much reactive person to reacting everything. You have Zara with a piece of paper writing down all of her questions. Alcron, the casual gamer, but putting everything into his memory. And then you have David and Clambo, who are like theorizing and sharing a bunch of stuff. That's the kind
Zara
of
writes down stuff.
yeah. She has
So
a.
anyway, let's go to chapter 5.
All right, let's move on before we get.
Oh man, I have a lot of.
All right, let's
say about the
move
characters
on.
in
Let's
chapter
move
5.
on. Let's move on. We are now entering chapter 5, where we are now getting to meet our one and only Kagurame, where we get to learn more of who she is, and that there is a other world known as Megoku, aka the hell version of this world. Well, we have Purgatory, and I guess Megoku is the underworld below Purgatory. So Kagurame appears in chapter 5, and we get to learn more about who he is really, with like Kaguya and such. And we also learn of this new character we get to meet, who is very much evil down to the bone, Nurarihyon. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but Nurarihyon.
Yeah, I hate that guy's name.
It's
Why they
so-
make it so
Rarihyon.
complicated?
It's so
I call him
complicated.
Emperor Palpatine.
He
It's Palpatine.
he made it complicated
Emperor
because
Palpatine.
Just do that.
That's what I said.
he made his name complicated so that we can hate him because he's an absolute villain. Absolute
He's like the
manipulative.
future mythos guy. That guy's name.
Half naked
Is it-
guy.
What?
The half naked guy.
What?
The scientist guy, Delamere.
What?
He's like
Oh.
a
Delamere,
Eastern
right?
Delamere.
Oh, Delamere.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah.
I just
Delamere.
saw him with a cloak and I was like, this guy needs to sound like Palpatine, so he's Palpatine in my head. So
Yeah.
whatever.
I
was
tried
like,
to give
alright.
him like when I was voicing his dialogue, I was like, what does he sound like? I gave him like a nasal grandpa old voice. I think.
I went with Palpatine. It was easier.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So
Palpatine sounds like a nasal grandpa.
yeah,
Yeah.
maybe. So how did everyone feel about Kagurame for the very first time?
Hate
Dude.
and disgust.
What?
Mostly hate.
Why?
Did you say disgust?
All right. So first of all, I love her design. I think they kind of like went a little bit more risque. They're a little bit more flesh. I love her design. I just hate her because I spent like I think was like 16 or 18,000 stone and she did not come home. I also spent my my monthly
Jeez.
ticket and she did not come home either. Yeah, so she can rot in hell. I just want to get her just so I can bench her and watch her like, not
Isaiah's right.
level up.
Isaiah was
No,
correct.
I did not.
So
No,
that's
I
the only
did not.
reason. I was thinking it was a more complicated reason. It's just you didn't pull. You should hate the game, not the character.
She looks like a
hate the
character from
game, not the
Azur Lane, which is
character.
pretty cool. No. So much stone wasted. So much pain. But yeah. I know you can't relate, Isaiah. I know you can't relate, all right?
Yeah, Isaiah can't
Throwing
relate.
money at your
Isaiah
game
has
like
everyone
this?
and has them at 255 points.
Yep.
He's the
Man.
whale. He's the
Completely
biggest
free to
whale of
play.
all whales in another Eden. Compare that to other Hoyoverse game. Compare that to any other Hoyo game out there. Isaiah is the biggest whale in the Another Eden community.
So, quick question from my side. What did you guys thought of her design? Do you think it's too kind of like lewd, too risque, or you think like,
I think.
what do you guys think of her design?
I mean,
from,
to
like,
be
you guys'
fair,
point of view?
considering that Kagurame is considered the anniversary unit, like with like Melissa, Eva, and Ipfi, and if we compare those designs to Melissa, Eva, Ipfi, and now Kagurame, I think that her design is more, I say fan service because of all the stuff, all the places that her her figure is exposed. But I guess, yeah, I think that Kagurame's design is very beautiful. I guess the best point of it all is the the JoJo posing paper dolls.
Mm-hmm.
The
Of
best
course, that's
part.
a win. Of course.
The paper dolls are a win already. The paper dolls are the best. They JoJo pose. And I don't even watch JoJo. I just know the poses. And so yeah, I guess Kagurame's design is very much all there. And when I did mention
Okay.
this, I think I mentioned this before, and I did talk to Zara about this. Do you remember the time where I said Kagurame is basically a female version of Silas from Love in Deep Space?
Oh my god.
Yep. Cause she's like Hun.
No, she's not.
Cause like, come on, she says nicknames like Hun, Sweetie, My Destiny. That's basically Silas from Love in Deep Space. You can't deny that.
No.
You can't
No,
deny
no.
that, Zara. You cannot deny that.
No. Do not.
Um,
But anyways, yeah,
Her
I
design
like the
wise.
design.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, compared to like certain other gacha games, her design isn't that bad
Mm-hmm.
in terms of like the
Oh,
fan
no,
service aspect. But
yeah,
I think her and Ed both look insane.
they're so much
They look
worse.
so not another Eden.
I play Nikke, yeah, and like, as David said, like honestly, like she looks like a character from a mobile game called Azur Lane, which is like ships related. She looks like a character from that game.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know. I've never tried or played Azulane
Yeah.
or looked up the images.
Oh, you
Can't
should,
relate.
you should, you
Yeah.
should, you should.
Ronchi says, let's not forget about the crow. Zara,
crow?
let's not forget about the crow. Mephisto was there. The crow was there.
What is this? Love in Deep Space?
Yeah, it's a
Yeah, during the chapter.
yeah, so chapter 5 was a very much, I guess, slower chapter for me, because of course we got to see that the real people in the real world are actually specters, or should I say revenants now. Sorry, excuse me.
yeah, and Shion has the nickname Slasher now.
Yep, he's the slasher.
Slash slinging Slasher.
And now we have the introduction to Nurarihyon. And I feel like I have so much to say about that guy. First of all, why are you even doing this? I hate your character. You are so manipulative, and I cannot even fathom that at all. I just don't want I'm just glad that guy disappeared during like the second or like the last chapter of the story, and then we got someone better. So yeah.
No, no, I don't agree. He was awesome. He was Palpatine. He was controlling everyone from the shadow. No, I wish he would stay a little bit more, to be honest.
I hate
Come
him.
on.
I don't like old creepy dudes. I'm not into that.
You're like,
Really?
I'm more
Oh,
of
one
Are we
thing
talking about
about
Are we talking about
Nurarihion, though.
Napoli? What's his name?
what?
Are we am I talking are we talking about the same thing?
Not. We're talking about Nurarihion.
Yeah, that's it. That's him. I wasn't a fan of him. He was just too straightforward. He's too two-dimensional for me.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, that's fair.
Fair
that's
enough. No,
fair.
no. I mean, fair enough. They didn't utilize him properly. That I agree. Yeah.
Mhm.
He's like
But-
he was there, and then boom, and then you fight him, and it's like, I am done. He had a cool enemy sprite. I think it's like one of the best enemy design in the game.
Mhm.
That giant like Japanese skeleton. I forgot the name of that skeletons, but
He looks like a giant
Yeah.
pumpkin to me.
huh?
If he did a Palpatine
It's
thing where it
orange.
kind
It's
of
orange, and I was
manipulated
like,
things and
why does he look like a pumpkin? It's orange. I see it as a pumpkin. I don't know why.
damn, Jordan spent $500 trying to get Kagurami.
Oh shoot.
Brother, you wanna go grab a bottle and cry in the
Oh
corner?
my god.
I'll pay, man. I'll pay.
All right, so
But
I guess you have any other points that you guys would like to share from chapter 5 before we give our rating?
About Nurarihion.
Nurarihion. Just call him Nura. Just call him Nura.
Yeah, I like his hood design. I really like his hood design.
Yeah.
The
The hood,
skulls
the
and stuff.
design of the hood is
Who?
great. The character, not. I'm sorry.
he has a little purple scroll on his hood. He's so adorable as an old man.
An
Also,
old man who
thinking
looks
about-
creepy and evil.
Climbo locks him.
anyways, yeah, this is also the chapter where Shion slashed Chihiro.
Yeah, I was shocked. I was
I
like,
screamed. I
I
legit.
went through
screamed.
the 7 layers of emotions again. More like 2 layers. But like,
Yeah.
I cannot believe that Shion did this in front of my very own eyes. This feels like trauma
Yeah.
from that Apocrypha chapter with Marielle. That's worse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
This is worse.
Yeah.
They
This
took
is
like,
worse.
I guess
indeed.
wait,
Yeah.
let me say this. Shadow of Sin and Steel chapter 5 looked at I guess it was chapter 5 as well? Chapter 5 of the Apocrypha series and said, "Hold my hold
Yeah.
my beer." I was like, I cannot. That
Oh,
was
I
that
need a minute. After that, I needed a minute to like process this.
yeah, I needed a minute as well. I was like, oh my god, what happened? I was like, I cannot fathom the fact that Shion is killing Chihiro in front of me when it was not really Chihiro at all. It was revealed at the
Yeah,
very
it was
end.
like, she's a child.
Yeah, she was a child.
But
That's what I
that's
love about
good.
this series. The
Oh my
endless,
gosh, my volume
endless
was
plot
sorry.
twists.
Yeah, a big
that's
plot
good.
twist. It was a big plot twist, but like initially our reactions was like, that's a child, Shion. What are you doing?
Being
And she was
evil.
like, yeah, that kid kind of looked annoying. I'm gonna take her out.
Chihiro
Yeah.
was part of the character development for Senya.
Now she's dead.
She is not. She is not. It was revealed at the very end of the chapter. She survived. Okay.
Yeah, but fair enough. But like I still think it's cool that like they're as a whole they're trying like more risky stuff since we're talking about it. I like that, like they're killing children, they're killing like characters. That's kind of neat. I like it.
Careful what you say, because people could clip that out of context. But yeah,
Oh yeah.
Imagine.
My bad,
Yeah,
sorry.
that would be very out of context. So now let's go
Kind
to
of
the
can't run for president.
ratings. What do you guys rate chapter 5?
All the
7.5.
7.5?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll say 8 because it was a slow chapter, but the plot twists were there. And I needed like, I guess I took 2 minutes to just process of whatever the hell happened during that entire scene.
I'm gonna say 6.
6.
Raunchy
Okay.
gave it a 10. MPG's
Yeah.
giving it a 6.7.
Raunchy
Now
said
my
10.
reason is
MPG Annihilator said 6.7. Raunchy said
Um,
traumatized me a lot. That's so true.
Yeah, I
My-
was like, when that scene came out, I was like, Shion, you better not do what I'm thinking you're trying to do, and then yeah, he did it.
Okay, what do you think is
Yeah.
more surprisingly traumatic? Chapter 3 or chapter 5?
Traumatic.
Five.
I think chapter 3 for me it was chapter 3
Yeah.
because here's the thing, like that, that might be personal, but like I think by chapter 5 and 6 I felt like the entire like chapter was kind of like slowing down a lot, and it kind of like went a little bit downhill for me, so that's why I'm kind of like it was not really my favorite.
Okay. I say
The most
5.
traumatic thing for me wasn't Akane. It was more when Genshin fully was happy being burnt alive. That was like, whoa, this is
Yeah.
getting dark. This is great.
Which chapter did Alter Shion go to jail? I believe it was it's between chapter
Was it
3 and
2?
4.
It's,
Oh, 3
it's
and
4.
Yeah,
I put
it's
it in my
4.
notes. It's 4.
Oh yeah, thank you for your notes.
Yeah.
Your 2-page notes.
MPG thinks chapter 3 was stupid.
What?
Why is it stupid, man? Isn't that where Akane dies when she gets killed? Is it 3?
Yeah, in chapter 3 where Alter Akane was protecting a bunch of people and then got eliminated. Quote unquote eliminated,
It's
by the
like-
way.
Basically,
man.
all the plot twists and where the story really jump starts at. For me,
Yeah, that's true.
I would be curious to like hear MPG talks, because he has a really negative opinion on chapter 3 as a whole. That's kind of like interesting, actually.
Mm.
Hmm.
The
Maybe
rest
we
so
can.
he liked the Akane bit, just not the rest of it.
Oh my god.
Fair enough.
All
Fair
right.
enough.
Your opinion, I respect it. Everyone has their opinions. All right. Did everyone else give their ratings to chapter 5?
I'd give it an 8 for effort.
of course.
Of course. What's with you and number 8?
Ask any Chinese person that question.
Oh my god. Glambo, did you give your rating?
Yeah, I think I gave it like a 6.5 just because I thought it was slowing down.
Okay. And what about you,
yeah.
Alcron?
Yeah, I just gave it a 7. I think it was a really good really decent chapter.
Mm-hmm.
It was like story-wise,
Yeah. It was a really good story too, so yeah, there were a lot of traumatic experiences, but I feel like Zara has a full
Yeah.
page of notes.
Yeah.
So Zara, do you write down notes as you play? Like, do you have like a notebook on hand?
No, like yesterday, I went through all my stream and just like skipped through it and just like jot down notes of
Mm-hmm.
like certain.
All right.
I hate Shion right now, like that.
Impactful.
I can't believe you, Shion. Can't believe you did this to me. Is it like that? And then you just scribble his name out, Shion, and then you cross his name out of anger.
No.
Anyways, let's move on. Let's move on to the second to the last chapter of the mythos. We have chapter 6, Winter's Call, where the most major points, we get to meet Alter Yukino for the very first time. We get to talk to her. She is a songstress. And we also get to meet Snowman Genshin. Snowman Genshin.
That was the first time in that mythos that made me laugh. Seeing Snowman Genshin, that was hilarious.
I agree.
To be fair, yeah, I
I do
will
have
have
a
to
lot to
agree
say.
that Snowman Mansion, Snowman Genshin was like, where are you going? He felt a little bit out of place for me, but his entire appearance was just so funny.
They did not utilize him properly, which is sad. Again, like it was a cool idea. He was there for like a couple of cutscenes and that's it. So
Yeah, Clambers
Yeah.
or doing about a mini game or a boss with him would have been hilarious. Like how you said he keeps growing, that'd have been an awesome boss. That'd been funny. It reminds
He would
me
be
of a
like a
Chocobo
giant snow monster.
battle. Yeah, that'd have been hilarious.
Yeah, like or just like as a secret bus or something. And same for like I have a lot of things to say about Yukino. I think they kind of like messed up or all personality and kid, but like that's another story. But like for some in Genshin, yeah, it would have been fun to have something with them because he's kind of like the starters of the entire kind of like story. Would have been fun to either like fight him, have a mini game, or just like something with interaction beside kind of like here's like I'm gonna dump my exposition, and then that's it. But yeah, like a duo would have been great, like something.
Oh, duel with Genshin, yeah, MPG
Yeah, that would be
agrees.
really
That would've been
fun to
sick.
do.
Yeah.
With Snowman would have been hilarious.
Yeah.
And aside from those salient points, aside from meeting Alter Yukino and Genshin the Snowman, we get to the very traumatic part of the chapter, and it was when Shion appeared in the Garden of Petals with Reimei and just eliminated him. And at first, we already knew, like, we already had a hint that Reimei is a revenant, but like, I want to hear this from you, Zara. How did you feel about what happened when Shion decided to take the final blade to Reimei? How did you feel about that?
The whole chapter, I was like, where is Shion? Where is Shion? And then suddenly it's like, they were going to meet at the battle. I was like, oh no, and I was like, Shion's gonna kill Reimei, isn't he? And then yeah, I keep repeating to myself that I hate it when I'm right.
That's so. I hate it when I'm right too, and I'm like,
You can just like go to my I
do you have
uploaded
like
all
a
my
highlights
VODs to my
thing, like a
channel.
highlights reel
I
of?
don't have a highlight, but I did upload my stream VODs from Twitch to my YouTube. So yeah, it's just like fine.
Yeah,
Where I just like,
yeah.
oh
For
no, all the time.
yeah, that was so bad. I think I cried a little bit from what happened, and like, yeah. How about the others? How about you, David, Clambo, Alcron? How did you feel about the
Oh yeah.
moment that Shion just immediately eliminated Reimei after knowing that he is actually a revenant to begin with?
The entirety of me playing this chapter was like, where the fuck is Shion?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's just
same.
like, oh, there you are.
And just like, pew, bye bye.
Because like after what he did to Chihiro the previous chapter, I was like, you better not, and he did.
And
Yeah,
you know what I
same
noticed?
reaction.
He did it in front of Senya. He did it in front of Senya.
Oh yeah.
I was still.
No, he
I
no
was,
no. I mean, like he didn't do it in front of Senya. It's just like it was like when Senya happens just to like arrive, and it happened.
Yeah.
He didn't exactly do it in front of Senya, but yeah.
I mean, it was kind of, but like the moment that
No,
Shion.
no. I mean,
yeah.
no. I mean, like, he didn't purposely kill Reimi in front of Senya. It's just that Senya arrived when he did the thing. But yeah.
Oh yeah. Now I remember. But still, that was. How many trauma moments? How many trauma bombs are you going to give us from
So
this
many.
entire
Really good.
mythos? Too many.
that's good. That's
Yeah,
what I really like
also
it.
the
laughing at-
ending, also the very very ending.
Dude,
I
when
can't
they
stop laughing
dude,
at
when they
Jordan's
revealed
comment.
Tsukuyomi near
Mhm.
the end of the chapter, I was like, "Oh, shit is going to go real down."
Yeah, I was really surprised they like revealed Tsukuyomi. I was like, they had Kaguya, they had Himiko, and now Tsukuyomi. Like I was like, who next? Amaterasu, Susano, Abinosemi.
You're naming out all of the
Tsukuyomi.
gods.
Gonna bring,
Ouroboros.
gonna bring everyone.
They're gonna bring out some kind of character that represents Ouroboros.
Yomi.
Meanwhile, the god. Okay, Ranchi, you say Tsukuyomi's hot. I mean, to
I
be
mean, understandable.
I mean, yeah. To be fair, he kind of is. Kind of looks like a god version of Sunday. Because of the halo. It's the halo. When I think of a halo, I think of Sunday from HSR.
Jordan says no one has a chest that smooth.
What?
Well, no one has seen me.
What?
All right.
I mean, I have a pretty smooth chest, but
I have one hair.
What?
Uh.
One hair.
Well,
One
well
single
maintained.
hair.
Like the one hair in the middle of your chest.
Yeah, exactly. Well groomed. Just wanted. I got to take care of the only thing I've got, man.
It's like it's like you went through puberty and you just grew your first chest hair.
Yeah, the first and only. I can't lose it. It's the only thing I've got.
Oh my
Mm.
god. All right, so what were your other reactions to the whole reveal of that Tsukuyomi is like it's like the overarching antagonist of this entire mythos story?
It reminds me of Seymour from Final Fantasy X for some reason.
Oh, see, wait,
Seymour Final Fantasy X. Who's that one again?
I forgot.
Is that
He's
Thomas'
the
dad?
I forgot what he
no,
looks like.
no. He has like a smooth chest, beautiful purple hair. He wears a
Oh,
dress.
that guy.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I remember
Is
him.
that 10?
Yeah, that's 10. Yeah.
That's 10 too? He's not in the first one, is he?
No, he is in the first one. Yeah, Seymour
yeah,
is
yeah.
he's supposed to marry the Yunalesca. Anyway, that's a different game. But yeah, he kind of reminds me of that. I mean, personally, like I think he's not a bad villain, but he's kind of like weak. He's like, all right, I have a plan, and like, all right, I'm like a god. All right, cool. Like I don't know, like the Emperor Palpatine would have been a better villain. Even Genshin would have been a better villain. Like I think the villain was kind of like a letdown.
Yeah.
Personally,
It gave me huge Berserk vibes. I think they got some inspiration from Berserk, or unless it's a trope that's pretty common in Japanese myths, where you've got the two buddies who are, and one of them's going to be the Emperor. And one of them starts off and he starts off very weak and meek, and then like Berserk, it becomes supernatural, and all these
Yeah.
weird creatures, bug creatures come out. If anyone's watched Berserk, it really reminded me of that.
Oh yeah.
Berserk is
Mm.
masterpiece,
I'm not
guys.
familiar
Go
with
read it.
it.
It's one of the best.
the
It's
only
one of the
fam-
best manga ever.
The only thing I know about Berserk is the character Guts. And that's it.
With a massive sword.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the guy.
I would give all my money if Another Eden has a collab with that game because the
Oh my
enemy design in
God.
Another Eden.
Imagine,
Sick, man.
imagine.
No, but like the enemy design in Another Eden would fit perfectly in the Berserk universe because the Berserk enemy designs are creature designs are really like out there and they would fit.
Ah,
So,
I see.
Anyway,
Oh wait, I
they would,
forgot
I
that
agree.
chapter 6 was also the same chapters that Alter Shigure is revealed.
Yes.
he looks like
Yes.
a JoJo character.
Ruby's.
Where was he?
It was during the time. It was in the scene
Oh,
with
Oh,
Alter
I mean, like,
Shion
we
in the
couldn't get him. I
dungeon.
was hoping we'd get him in the next chapter, but he wasn't there.
It
What's
was
the deal with his peck window? Like he has a weird peck thingy
It's
open.
called-
Like what's the deal with that?
It's called a chest window, and
A chest
majority of
window?
like
Chest window. All right.
Can
And
I buy one from Amazon?
it kind of reminds. Look, I think I mentioned this. Shigure Alter Shigure looks like Aventurine without the hat from HSR, and in red, of course.
He looks like a Venturine.
Yeah, he definitely looks like Aventurine
If his hair
without the
was
hat.
red, maybe.
In red, of course. I see
Yeah,
red.
I can kind of see that.
How did Shigure what's it called? Zara, how did you feel about Alter Shigure's appearance?
Okay, when I first saw him, I was like, oh my god, he has short hair, and then immediately after, because I was like looking only at his hair,
Yeah?
and then when I saw his face, and I was looking at his sprite, I was like, oh, short hair. Then I immediately saw his portrait, and I was like, someone please stop my hand from making contact with his face because
Sorry.
he has a
Did you
very
put his name
touchable
with a
face.
love heart around it when you were taking notes? Shion Alter, love heart.
Oh my
Oh, boy.
god. Okay,
Shion Alter
Alter,
looks like
how
he
did
is
you
the
feel
samurai
about
warrior.
Alter Shigure? How did you feel about Alter Shigure's appearance? Alcron?
I'm sorry, my brain was out,
Oh,
out
it's
of
okay,
it
it's
because
fine.
you
It's
guys were
fine.
loving
How did you feel about
loving
Alter
Alter
Shigure?
Shion.
How did you feel about Alter Shigure?
Ashiguro.
How did you feel?
Alter Shigure was an interesting development
Mhm.
because outside of their difference with Arashigure, it's
Mhm.
just interesting to see that the path he took to where he is now,
Mhm.
because he's a merchant, right?
Yeah, he is a
And
merchant.
Mhm.
it's just like it's interesting to see that it's interesting to see Shigure be more cunning, and be more methodical with his plans.
Mhm.
Who? Sorry, Alter Shion.
Shigure. My brain is not is mixing them
Yeah,
up
you're just
because
like me when I saw a clip of myself. I think it was one of my mods, and I said Shion instead of Shigure.
MPG's correcting us. I think I stuffed up as well.
Yeah.
Well, also, since
But
Alter
yeah,
Shigure is like a merchant, you know what that means. Kuchinawa has like a rival.
Oh my god. Okay, now
Kuchinawa?
I see like the parallels.
Oh, yeah.
So, did you notice that Shion and Shigure like Shion has short hair while Alter Shion has long hair, and Shigure has long hair and Alter Shigure has short hair? The parallels are there.
Actually,
So they're
actually
Ooh.
always
no.
like yin and
Both
yang. Is that what you're
Shions have
saying?
long hair.
What? What?
Both Shions have long hair.
Yeah, well, technically, it's long. Not it's longer, I guess.
No, it's the same length, I believe.
Yeah, maybe, but like short hair, long hair, it's paralleling both of the characters.
And they
One
don't
of
have chest hairs, Jordan.
one is buff, the other is not buff. The guy who's buff wins. There you go. More abs, he wins.
Oh
Right?
my
He wins.
gosh. Anyways,
That's how I roll.
what do you guys
That's
rate
how I roll.
chapter 6? What do you guys rate chapter 6?
We didn't talk about Yukino though.
Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah,
Yukino's
It's like I
design
have
was
a bunch to say
very
as well.
well.
I have a bunch to say about Yukino too.
Yukino's design for
Alright, here we
me
go.
is very Ice Queen. Very Ice Queen. And I did notice, I think some people pointed it out, that the flowers on Yukino are the same flowers that Tsukiha has. So.
Oh, really?
yeah.
Have a
Yeah.
look.
They might be onto
Oh,
something.
Persikuha.
Apparently so. But yeah,
Let's have a look.
I see her the vibe of Ice Queen. And I think that the orange and blue work so well together. It's really, really beautiful. Okay, that's my read. That's my read on her. What do you guys think?
I see her as an ice princess. She looks quite young, right?
Yeah, she's a snow idol, an ice idol.
I mean, you guys want to hear me rant a little bit about Yukino?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Go
Sure.
ahead.
All right. So here's
We
the
have
thing,
like
right? So-
around 20 minutes. We
yeah,
still need
yeah.
20-minute
which-
rant.
Yeah, no,
20-minute rant, and we still haven't reached
I have-
chapter 6. Chapter 7.
I
I
have to go
mean.
to bed a little bit because otherwise I'm gonna fall asleep for the for the thing tomorrow. But I just want to say that Yukino, as you know, her kit was pretty much like a pop star, right? And I think they could have like done something a little bit better. And I had this crazy idea, which I'm gonna share with you guys. But I think it would have been a cool idea for Yukino to be a sidekick and have the snowman as a character. So imagine that, like, you know, Yukino is your sidekick, you know, and every turn she does dance, and the unit in quotation is the actual snowman. You know, the snowman that cannot die, whatever. Like, you could have like some kind of like cool mechanic where Yukino, as a pop star singer, would actually be a psychic that, you know, dance and sing like a K-pop idol or a G-pop idol or whatever, and then she would summon stuff to help. Something crazy a little bit. I don't know. I like crazy
That would have
stuff.
been interesting. Yeah, that would have been something different in the game because
Yeah,
if they took on an
that's a
idea
good
from
idea.
Hoyo games where they've got pop stars, they've been releasing pop stars recently.
Mhm.
They just sing and then they support the whole team in the background.
I have written, like, I actually written like her entire kit and like her entire kind of like gameplay kind of like design document on Reddit.
Wow. Oh wow.
So yeah, that's my job. Like I make games for a living. But yeah, so because I think that, you know, it's psychics are cool ideas, but it would have been kind of cool since, like, you know, pop stars, a snowman. There's something to do, and I like when they try some crazy stuff. But yeah, but otherwise, like, besides that, I think like her design is pretty cool, and I think she's like a nice character.
Yeah,
So,
I think another
Alright,
read
I'll
for
put
me.
it now.
I think another read for me is that Alter Yukino kind of reminds me of Robin from Honkai Star Rail because she also sings,
Yes, thanks.
and Yukino
I think that's
also
why
sings.
they brought her out. Like they created this character because it seems to be a trend with gacha games, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like every gacha game needs to have a singer. Like for any singer character in like as
They
a
recently
flavor.
released
already.
Astro in Zenless Zone Zero, who's also a singer.
Yeah, Astra Yao, who is voiced by Molly Zhang, aka
But,
the
like,
fish. The fish.
But like, is she like? Because I didn't roll for her. But like, is her kit really like singer based? Like, is she like a buffer or she actually has attack? Because like in JRP, go ahead.
Who are you referring to as a
Yukino, sorry, Yukino.
Oh, I actually don't have Yukino, but I feel like someone
Ah.
else does. David, do you have Yukino?
So yeah, so no, I spent all my chronostones trying to get her. So she was like my Kagurame, but probably wouldn't have used her that much. I just wanted to get her, but she mainly supports 3 characters to her right, the different ways. MPG can give us more clarification. He knows her off the top of his head
Okay.
better, but she gives each character in your team a different kind of buff, and they're not exactly the best buffs. They can be conflicting with other support characters, and you have to keep thinking about it. as
Okay,
well.
guys, continue. I will be right back.
I mean, anyway, so yeah, so I just thought it would have been a cool idea to have like an actual character that just like is a psychic and support stuff. I have like other crazy idea for other characters, but that's neither here or there.
That would have been cool. That would have been something different.
Yeah, and also like since we're talking about the Shadow and Seals of Steel, like a cool mini game would have been I know there's other games that do that, but I'm gonna use like Kirby Superstar as a reference. But there's a game in Kirby Superstar when you have like both samurais. You know those like typical kind of like samurai showdown. They both look, and you have that like music, and then like the first person that draws the sword that's like stashed the other person.
Mhm.
That would have been like a cool kind of like mini games for another ED, and that would have been a neat idea.
That would be a good idea. So, yeah.
Some kind of snow-related mini game, like chucking snowballs, even something as simple as snowball fights.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been a good
Some-
idea.
some-
They have
something,
a
you know?
snowball fight.
I still want a base or hub or a house where I can like sink my gold in it, and I want it, and they won't give it to me, and I want it so bad.
Bro, be careful what you wish for. That's another. They'll be charging us so much money for that.
True. So yeah, I think that's all for our reads on Yukino. Now, what would you guys rate chapter 6 overall?
I have some other things to add as well, actually.
Okay, go ahead.
Backpedaling to like Alter Shigure, I really like his design, but it took me a while actually to notice his chest window because I was like staring at his
No.
punchable face.
Now, I immediately saw the chest window. I was like, oh my god, he's a Venturine. He's
But
just...
yeah, something about him strikes me as unsettling. So yeah,
Okay.
Because he's a businessman.
no, not quite. I mean, there's Kuchinawa who's like really sus, but Alter Shigure is something about him. But yeah, that's for a future thing, I guess. Whenever
Maybe.
he releases. But
Once we know more about his kit,
yeah.
then we will learn more about this man. Anyways,
But
He better be
onto
good.
like
He better
the
be. I really want
plot
him.
though, I like the little like plot twist that we find out that Yahiko is actually Senya's dad in a past life.
yeah, that was really surprising.
That was
too.
really nice.
It's like
Was that in this
connecting.
chapter?
So yeah,
No,
and
no, it was in
also
chapter
this
7.
is- yeah, and also Raimi like suddenly randomly kind of ended the war by doing an alliance with like what's the name again?
Garnelli.
Yeah, Garnelli is like that feels like so out of the blue, like, huh?
It's like so left field that he declared
like,
war and then
Yeah,
he created an
wanted to
alliance.
continue the war, and suddenly he formed
Alliance?
an alliance out of
Yeah.
the blue.
Yeah. So that's
Though I
interesting.
suppose the thing is, I think it might have to do with like he hasn't have long to live.
Yeah,
That's
Oh,
what I'm
maybe.
yeah.
thinking, but yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know. I still think that the pacing in Another Eden in general is all over the place. They talk too much in cutscene. They repeat themselves over and over. But something like, hey, do we move on to something more interesting? And then you're lacking information, such as like what happened to Reime. That's frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe if they had like one more extra chapter, maybe it would be like more
Yeah,
clear.
maybe.
But yeah.
Maybe
I-
like a subquest or something that would be a
Yeah.
closure.
8 chapters would have been perfect.
Yeah.
So
But I feel like
I think
they're following the
there's going to be an
formula.
extra chapter, right? Because
Oh,
of the
yeah.
huge thing at the end of chapter 7, that huge reveal. We can talk
Yeah.
about that soon, I guess.
All right, let's talk about it because yeah.
All right. So what do
Oh,
we
and
rate chapter 6
lastly,
now?
Lastly,
Okay. Okay.
wait, no, lastly. Alter Shion drinking the poison.
Oh my god.
yeah.
I did not see that coming though. That was pretty good.
I did not see that coming at all. That he actually drank poison just so he can go to Megoku.
MPG's
Yeah.
pretty rough with his
Yeah.
rating of 5 out of 10. Damn, son.
Wow.
Damn, MPG, man. We need
Haters
dude,
gonna hate.
I would say-
dude, let's,
I would
let's crack
say-
a drink and
Chapter 8, chapter 6, I would give it an 8 out of 10 because I was pretty much excited for Alter Shigure's appearance. I was very much excited. And, of course, the reveal, the traumatic effect once again with the very ending of the chapter.
It's an 8 for me as well.
Anyone else?
I'd give it a 7.
7 for Alcron.
Ooh.
And let me guess,
yeah,
8 from David.
eight.
Yeah, 8 for effort from me.
Now we know how your ratings go. And Clambo, what would you rate it?
Probably 8 also.
Okay.
For people that like this mythos, our rankings are pretty low.
True.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the
we
highest
need
rated.
to
I think the
stick with
highest rated. I think the highest number we got is 9, and I think it was for chapter 3. I think it was for chapter 3.
Three, yeah.
Give it a 9, yeah.
Because to be fair, chapter
Actually,
3.
I'll give chapter 6 an 8.5, actually.
Something I wish could have happened. It's typical. Like, it's a typical thing that happens, but I wish they played on the rivalry between Shion and Shigure. Like, they made it a Ryu versus Ken, Goku versus Vegeta thing, and put some drama in that.
Like
And
Naruto
raise your
versus
face,
like the
but I know
Naruto
Senya
versus
complicates
Sasuke
it.
trope thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe we'll
But
get
then
that in the
Senya's
near
another
future.
makes it kind of complicated though.
Maybe we can get that
Again,
in the near future.
yeah, but like still the pacing would have been weird. But like yeah, Shion Shigure would have been great. Like like 2 versus 2 would have been
I have
kind of cool.
one more thing to say that I forgot that I wrote down.
And
in my
what's
notes is
that? Go ahead, girl. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
The small plot twist that Genshin actually cares for Kaguya and Senya.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I almost
Yeah,
forgot.
yeah, that
He doesn't
happened.
really outright say that he cares for them, even in the cutscene, but it shows that he still kind of cares in some way,
Even
though
as
what
an
he
evil
says
guy, even as a
isn't
ska.
true,
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Even as a ska dad, he still has a heart for them.
Yeah.
Oh, what? Sorry, what's that melody?
I'm not saying it. I'm not falling for it.
How do you spell it?
I'm not saying it. Anyways, all right. So that's another thing. Yeah, there was a bit of heart for Genshin, but he still may be the baddie, the interesting guy who wants to like conquer everything. But like, he still has a heart. He still has a heart for Senya and Kaguya.
I'm a villain, but I have standards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I'm a father. Even though I'm like I always come back. I still have some heart for my kids. William Afton.
Yeah.
It's so funny when he's I forgot. Does Raymay become a snowman? He meets another snowman at the end, right? Foolish character that was.
Not really, because we know what
No.
happened in chapter 7. And now we're moving on to chapter
Yeah.
7. So
Okay,
Chapter
let's do-
7.
Let's do chapter 7.
So I have a
Life is
lot
gonna
of
be
things to
short
say
here.
about chapter 7. WFS, why did you make the boss so hard that I cannot even apply a poison or pain on it so that I keep on repeating the same thing over and over
Yeah,
again.
that was brutal.
It was,
That was
really
I beat
brutal.
Master difficulty. It took me.
It
It took
took
me
me-
hours.
It took me 20 tries. Even outside of my streams, it took me forever. And I was like, how am I supposed to do this without putting pain or poison on the enemies? And I'm so
It-
happy that my slash team was able to come through. My
Oh,
slash team.
don't tell me, did you Sesta? Did you Sesta? She's the
No,
biggest
I
cheat
did
character in
not.
this.
Well, initially I did use Sesta, but then I realized she has an ability where she can inflict pain, even without like enhancement Grass does. Like I use Power of Pain Grass does, but I did not make it so that she can put pain on the enemy, inflict pain or poison. But like I think it was her Twin Blade Wolf 2, where I think can inflict poison or pain. But
So that's what kills it.
Yeah. And of course, we have our introduction to another style, Senya. What do you guys think of the design for all our boy now in like from away from the dark clothing to the light clothing?
I
I reminds me of a character from Demon Slayer, so
Oh, yeah.
that's kind of cool.
Which one?
Yeah.
I need to catch
Any-
up on Demon Slayer. I've only seen season 1.
I mean, like if you look at the uniform, like especially like his hearing, I still don't know what he has like on his forehead. But like it's all get up. I was like, oh, okay, he looks like a character from Demon Slayer, which is kind of cool.
Are you talking about Tanjiro? Tanjiro from Demon Slayer?
Like I know the main character has like similar hearings, but like I'm just like talking like the general kind of like aesthetic of it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
He's
dressed a bit like the main guy too, right?
like when I
Yeah.
look at another style Senya, I was like, oh my gosh, Senya's looking like a prince. I'm so proud of him. He now learns the way of the sword of Senya. And we also got the introduction to Alter, our very first another style Alter unit. Our very first another style Alter unit, another style Alter Shion, almost said Shigure again. How does everyone feel about AS Alter Shion? That's a very long name, another style Alter Shion. How did everyone feel about this reveal?
I love him.
It's going to be a weird one going to the future because, like, it's going to be like we won't know for the future if other alter characters will get this kind of treatment.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a weird one, and also mechanic wise as well.
Mm-hmm. And I thought that, like since we got alter units since KMS, Mythos, I was just thinking like, what if they did another style for Alter Isuka? I wasn't expecting Alter Shion to be the first alter unit to have another style form, which was insane. And I guess the best part from this chapter is when they did like the Avengers Endgame situation where
Yes!
they bring in
I've been asking
everyone.
for that in every stream.
Dude, that was
Avengers, they need that in the main
insane.
story. Yes, I hope they do it again, main story.
And
That'd be
I can't
the
believe
it's so
it.
satisfying.
And the best part is Sikiha and Alter Sikiha beating each other. The best part.
Someone was
like-
saying there was a
Yeah.
Tsukiha Akas there as well. Like there's another version of Tsukiha. I missed it because I was too busy reading chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like a different color, but like since the beginning, I keep saying that another Eden should, like, every character that you're able to pull should have like a bigger impact, and I love the fact that everyone shows up. Like like, hey, we're here to help.
Yeah, that's
It was the best. We need more
that was
of that.
the best
like,
part for me as well.
Yeah.
I think the sad part is when Nero was there and he doesn't have another style form.
Yeah, that was kind of
But-
funny.
but-
like,
but
They should have
Melody.
revealed him as another style.
like, hey, I'm here. I do
Melody,
kung fu.
Melody.
Yes.
He was placed with two characters that have another style. So if that's not hinting at something, I don't know.
If it happens, I'm pulling for
knows?
that man.
No, maybe for future. Uh,
Wait.
when I saw that, I just said, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry, Nero. You don't have another
If
style."
not another style, maybe 5-star, who knows?
I don't know,
Yeah.
maybe.
Reading
But
the
yeah,
chat, it's,
they
it's
did. But
hilarious.
then the strange part was when
PG
they
hates
no no I was thinking of a different character. When the scene for Hina showed up, who was she talking to?
That,
don't know.
That was
Hina?
yeah. Okay, here's the thing. When I first played it, I thought it could be a hint to like maybe Alter Hina or maybe like an entirely new character that's related to Hina. But then when I was taking notes yesterday, and then the character said something about I haven't even finished conquering conquering
Who's
the
Hina?
world or something.
Yeah, that
So
was Alter Sukiha.
that was probably Alter Sukiha or maybe even Suzaku. I don't know, but most likely Alter Sukiha. But yeah.
Maybe that may be true. But like that was
Because
the
I
best.
went back
That was
and
like the
watched my
best highlight too. That was the best highlight too, where they just did the Avengers Assemble scene. That was the best.
That was sick.
And
That
of
was-
course,
It
I-
reminds me of like the
Yeah.
KMS part as well.
yeah, that's
I love when they
true.
They had,
reference
had a similar
that
thing
stuff.
going
And of
on.
course,
And
the best part of the chapter, I think Zara can agree on me. Extra style Shion is real.
Yes.
Extra style
Yeah.
Shion is real.
He actually does have like a dark Ronin design.
Dude,
is
he
that
looks-
a Japanese thing to have a humongous hat? Because it's super impractical. I was
Yes!
thinking maybe it's just a Japanese thing.
Yes.
'Cause otherwise,
No,
how does it make sense?
Have you seen
Rules
Rurouni
of Cool,
Kenshin?
Rules
He
of
has
Cool.
a hat like that. Rurouni Kenshin
Oh,
has
Rules
a
of
hat
Cool,
like
man.
that.
Oh, okay.
Basically, an Asian thing, pretty much.
I think
Most
that
Asian
Shion looks better than that one.
In this current one,
Dude,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
okay,
Like
to be fair, Shion kind of reminds me of Kuchinawa, but with the hat. Oh my
because
god.
I mean,
no, Crunchy remembers my thumbnail. That's the only thing the wiki. I don't know who uploaded his. If you look at Shion Akas's wiki and go to gallery, they just put his ES in there.
Oh, I did not see that. I actually
that's why I just
avoided all
I use it for my
spoilers.
thumbnail.
I tried to avoid all the spoilers. And I think I was confused because I saw your thumbnail with Iya Shion at Iya Shion, but I
'Cause that's
didn't
what was there.
but I didn't know it at the time. I was like, what is this? I was like, what, huh? I did not see this at all. But then I got to the part where Iya Shion appears. I'm like, oh my god, he's real. I had like tears rolling down my face from the fact that he's real.
Did
And
you
it's-
journal
it's- Nope.
Today I cried.
Me crying over it's like a meme. Me crying over Iya Shion is real. No. The one meme like extra style Shion can't hurt you. Extra style Shion appears.
I didn't exactly cry, but I was like, when he appeared, I was like, I'm gonna cry, but I didn't cry.
Yeah. But like the best part also is like I was also surprised at the ending where Senya decided to take half of his life force and give it to Reimei to be resurrected again, which was really insane. And that the reveal
Yeah.
and like when they and Kuromaru being Kaguya, that was I think it's already hinted beforehand that I feel like Kuromaru is like Kaguya or something. It was
I didn't know
real.
that. I was surprised by that twist. I didn't expect that.
I mean, I was
I mean,
I
expecting
expected the
that.
Shion twists.
It was a
I
hint.
knew-
See it because remember the Apocrypha with the tower Argenti?
Yeah, Argentium,
Or
I
something.
think.
Yeah, is it like the cat also related to like what's the name?
Alma's mother, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Alma,
yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, that was the best part.
PG thinks he makes the moment worse. Why is that? I thought it was quite poetic how they truly become
One in the same.
like twins, like they're
Like,
they're
one in
Yeah.
the
one
same.
of the one of the
yeah.
other.
I actually thought that they would and kind of like share the same body. So I thought I was watching the cuts and I was like, oh okay, so like both of them are kind of like fused together like Dragon Ball or whatever, like two people live in the same body. But the fact that they share the same life in two different bodies was also kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
I think
Can we talk about the big
I think-
reveal?
Oh, but correction though, Kuramaru is not Senya's mom, but like she's the mom shared like a part of a soul to
yeah.
Kuramaru, so it's
Yeah.
basically like leeching off Kuramaru or something. Hitchhike. But yeah.
Yeah, that's basically it. What else is there in chapter 7?
No, I think-
Akane returning. Alter Akane returning.
Yeah.
I did not expect that at all, but hey, it worked out, I guess.
I was
and,
thinking-
kinda
and
cheesy.
I was thinking it could
Shigure
happen.
and his Deus Ex Machina antidote for Shion.
Felt kind of cheap.
Yep.
Felt cheap in my opinion.
Yeah,
Felt kinda
that-
cheap.
I was like,
Kramer wanted her
Shigure,
dead for good. He wanted it dead, like just infinite
Yeah.
dead.
Yeah. That's why we remember Final Fantasy VII. Ares die. That's the
That's
reason.
true.
Sometimes
She was one of
sometimes
my
people
favorite
die.
characters. I actually didn't know she was gonna die in 7.
I also did
kept
not know
using it.
that.
Like, what? How come I can get her final weapon already? That's weird. And then she died.
Mhm.
To be fair, that was
So for me,
Alter Akane returning makes sense because it was the point of Shion's sacrifice. Yeah, I guess you have a point there, MPG Annihilator. It was
About Reimei dying.
like the reason why Alter Shion poisoned himself is because he wanted to save Akane from Megoku and such.
basically
And
he
I-
wanted to switch lives. Like he dies for good, and in return for Akane to like revive.
He literally
Yeah.
went to hell
I think
for
that
her.
was
hell
one
and
of my
back.
favorite scenes. Just Alter Shion, just like making a deal with God. It's just like, hey, let's make a deal.
That is
gonna-
He
brother,
made a
sister
deal
love
with
right
a
there.
god.
Mhm.
He made a deal with a god. That was
You know,
like
I entertain you for a bit. You revive my sister.
negotiations.
I guess it could make sense that she, yeah, because he is super smart, right? So he's smarter than, you can say he can outsmart a god.
Yeah, he can outsmart a god. Literally, he
Damn,
did.
he's moving up the tier list.
Yeah,
Lower
still,
tier list.
And I think the
still
like near the end of it all, like when we see Shion, Shigure, and Aldo return to their real world, and Aldo was like, I wonder who called us here. My mods grilled me and saying like, who Purple Thread? Who owns Purple
is it?
Thread?
Who's that?
It was Nona.
Yes,
I
that was
wonder-
the greatest moment ever.
It's like
wait.
Yeah.
Was it Nona? Was it Nona for real? Because I did not know.
Yes,
yeah, I
definitely
think
Nona.
I think
Raunchy
it's
and
Nona, man.
yeah, my mods told me it was Nona because of the purple threads, and I can like,
Boom.
oh my gosh, it makes sense.
Although and Nona confirm best ship in the game. There you go. Boom.
It is. Yep, Nona is
Yeah,
my
like-
favorite. I want her in main story. I keep saying it. I hope someone from WFS is listening. I want her in the main story. They need to bring
I
her
do.
in.
Listen, Raunchy, listen.
So like
Listen,
my,
Raunchy, I have something to say to you, Raunchy. I'm so sorry, but I almost forgot about her. Like, listen, I haven't used Nona in a while, okay? In my parties. I haven't used her in a while.
Rude.
So MPG, just saying, it's a blink and you'll miss it moment. It was when everyone went home to our time layer, right? And
Yeah.
it's just like Aldo was asking himself, like, I wonder who called us here, because in the very first chapter, someone called us to this time layer to
Mhm.
help this time layer survive, right?
Yeah,
And it's just like then we see the little thread.
You
yeah, my,
PG.
my
It was
It's
like
just like-
it was like the best moment for me. It was so good.
It was like a full
Oh man,
circle
made me so
moment.
happy.
It was like a full circle
initially,
moment.
I thought, yeah, for me initially I thought it was like Amaterasu was the one that called Aldo because of my like dumb theories and stuff.
Yeah.
But then I remembered like the connection to the Apocrypha of the Seven Colored, cause like yeah, we talked about that earlier. I was like, wait a minute, threads, and then I was like, yeah, it's Nona.
And I can't.
Immediately after that.
I was like, my brain was going to someplace else. I was like, when.
So what does
what
do
does
you
it
guys
mean?
think then? What's going to happen? Will they reveal Nona in the next chapter, or is it going to be something later on, like in
Maybe
another
if they
mythos?
do like a sub quest, and then Aldo finds out that
Yeah.
it was Nona all along that was calling out to them to go to that
really
And then they
planet.
depends.
kiss. They kiss. Oh man, I'm gonna have to close my eyes.
So it really depends, because like if it's a sub quest, it's kind of just going to be short. It can't really be that
Yeah,
a full on
that's
episode,
true.
because there's still like the problem with the I forgot the god's name, because his plan is on hold according to him,
That's true.
right?
His plans
Yeah.
were on hold.
It's just like on hold for now, and we'll see what will happen with that
Yeah.
in future, right?
So
maybe an episode, or maybe new chapters in the Apocrypha series. Who
maybe,
knows?
maybe.
But like,
This
Please
gonna
bring
sound weird, but, like,
a second Apocrypha would be amazing.
Dude, a second
one of my
Yeah,
favorite
that's-
series.
Apocrypha
we
season
talk about-
2,
we
that
can
would
talk
be
about
the
that.
best.
It
Apocrypha
would be.
season 2.
I loved it. I love Apocrypha so much. I loved
Are
all
you-
the characters in Apocrypha.
Yeah. And if they do
So,
Apocrypha
are these-
season 2, who knows? We might get a Stellar Awakened Nona or even an ES Nona.
Yeah, I mean,
I
we
want to
can talk
see
about
her appear
this-
in main story part 3.
another Eden live stream later.
Yeah,
Like, talk
yeah.
about
So,
the summary.
what do we rate chapter 7? The final chapter, Senya and Reime. What do you guys rate it?
I rated
Maybe
proper like
8.5.
9. 9. I mean, I guess the ranking was like all over the place, but yeah, 9.
I would say
Oh.
9.5 because I was really, really excited for like the reveal of Shion, the reveal of Iya Shion rather, the Avengers Endgame moment, the revival of things happening at the same time. It's just
No
overwhelmingly
Cheon.
everything. It was like everything. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a 9.5.
Yeah, me too. I'll give it a 9.5 just because they wrap things up pretty well, and
Yeah.
Nona gives it the better rating for me.
Yeah.
And the Avengers bit.
That
That
was
was
the
awesome.
best part. Alcron,
I'm
what did you rate it?
I'll definitely give it an 8. There was definitely moments where I felt a little disappointed because Shion getting revived was a little bit cheap. But overall, I did enjoy it.
Yeah, it was a
It would have
very
been
beautiful
interesting if
chapter.
Raymay does die and then Shion actually doesn't come back. Like he does the great
Yeah.
sacrifice to bring his sister back. That would have been pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd have been pretty
And
cool.
what did you
And
rate it,
Sion is
Zara?
just
What
now a
did you rate it,
permanent
Zara?
resident on Megoku. I rated 8.5.
Ah, okay. I was going to I was just gonna say a 9 because of the fact that the boss took me forever to beat. But I gave it a 9.5 because the story was really there. There were some teary-eyed moments for me, and like the best part is just that Senya is able to be like a new form of himself again and just be who he wants now. And like there is some questions that brought to the ending, but hopefully if a WFS is going to announce some kind of like side episode or like side quest relating to Shadow of Sin and Steel, then we can have proper closure to what happened. So I'm hoping for that in the upcoming live stream later today.
Oh man, I still think that
I
this one was one of the best. Compared to the Future Mythos, it's one of the best one.
Mm-hmm. So now
I
that
did
we
not like.
have, so now I'm seeing things. Now that we
wait,
have a
I
Zerberia,
was gonna give it a 9,
yeah.
but like I give it an 8.5 because like the death and revival thing feels kind of like it doesn't feel like um it's complete or anything, but like
Mm-hmm.
it feels like it's so out of the blue that everybody suddenly all revived, even Raimi. So it's like
Yeah,
kind of
because
eh.
especially
And the
considering
thing
the
is about
Yeah, yeah.
Senya giving half his life to Raimi so Raimi can live on. But you know what else? You're gonna die young.
True.
Yeah, yeah, but that's kind of like the duality of like being like trying to tell a cool story in a mobile game. Because yeah, it would have been kind of like imagine like your favorite character is Akane and like Akane dies in the middle of the storyline. You're kind of like, you know.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, a lot of people got mad at that.
Yeah.
I saw that
Yeah.
on
But she
Twitter.
came back.
But
Oh,
we know that WFS isn't scared to kill off characters, is what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
Really?
Like,
I mean, so
I
far
mean,
like
this isn't
Which
the
one?
first.
no one died though. Like no major like no gacha
No
character
playable
dies. Like
characters.
yeah,
I mean, no major characters, but side
true.
characters, yeah.
Side
Yeah.
Side
characters,
characters,
yeah.
yeah.
They aren't scared. But when it comes to like, you know, they have this tactic where if someone dies, they have like some kind of way to bring them back to life, I suppose.
Also,
That's the Marvel
also,
way. Multiverse.
also, let's not forget this game is basically also a quote unquote time traveling game. So yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah,
So yeah.
you can cheat something.
I mean,
You can you maybe.
the one of the major plot of Chrono Trigger, which is like this game is based on, is actually going to the past before Chrono dies and bringing him to the future. So
Yeah.
sure, time travel shenanigan is a thing.
Eh,
Yeah, bring
Mhm.
people back.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it is
MPG
done
thinks
it-
it's the worst of the three mythos. What does everyone think?
really.
How do you
No.
guys rate it?
really?
Future one is the worst in my opinion. I think the future one was the worst thing
Really?
ever. It's
Really?
yeah, I didn't like it. I didn't like it. So like for the future one, like the characters are kind of cool. Like all the characters that are like futuristic, Suzette, Tuva. I love their look. I love their cyberpunk look, kind of like Xenosaga with like latex and everything. I love that. But the storyline of like, oh, I'm from like a parallel time layer, but like I'm like your evil self. I did not like it. This was way too convoluted for my taste. It was
Yeah.
not
Mhm.
great. Curios, whatever, he's like, oh yeah, but like I'm Isuka's like male version from like another time layer, whatever. I didn't like that. I was like, eh,
Hmm. I
not
feel
for
like
me, bro.
I feel like out of all of the mythos, I think that Eastern is up there. But if we're going like ranking, we're not gonna rank this because we're gonna run out of time before we get to the announcements. But
Yeah.
like, I think Eastern Mythos and Zerberia Mythos is really up there. KMS Mythos I did enjoy, but there are so many unanswered questions. Like what happened to Kirio? What happened to everything else? Where did everyone go or something like that? It left an unanswered ending for KMS Mythos where we have Zerberia Mythos with an open-ended ending, and then we have like questionable ending for like this Eastern Mythos. So that's what I'm gonna say for now.
Hmm.
Well, for me, this mythos is like my second favorite. My first favorite, obviously, is the Zebria one.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's my ranking.
Okay. What do
Here's a quick. Oh, go ahead.
Okay. What about you, David, Alcron? Anything else that you would like to share? Like, what would you rank Mythos? Like all the three Mythos that we have so far, what you guys rate it?
Mm, Hmm. I really love cardinal scales and cardinal scales. Then what was it? Sword and wing.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
This definitely felt like they are taking a lot of risk,
Yeah,
but
they
they're
did.
still like dialing back.
Yeah, they did.
So
I have a feeling it could be some.
I would say
I'm
it's
wondering how much is budget issue. How much of it? How much do they hold back because of
yeah,
budget?
Yeah, I'm very
either
curious.
budget or like facing the anger of the community because their favorite character died.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, I would say it's in the. I would say this Mythos definitely is in the middle ground because they're taking a lot of risks. They learn from the past Mythos where it's just like it's a little convoluted, but
Hmm.
but they're taking risk with like characters, right? They're willing to kill off gacha characters,
Yeah, I
but
guess so.
they have to bring
But
them
oh my
back.
gosh, I clicked something. Whoops.
Yeah, I'm definitely mixed on it. It's in the middle of the road, so it's just
Yeah.
like it's very decent for me
Yeah,
because I
I'm a
still had
bit.
a lot of fun.
yeah, that's true.
I'm a bit
So,
with Akron on this one. Future Mythos was one of my favorites because I love
Really?
cyberpunk style stories. I'm
mm-hmm.
just really
Yeah.
into that kind of stuff. And then this one was good. I love Senya's character development. I really enjoyed seeing him progress. And I love the drama. It
Mm-hmm.
could. There's so many things I would have liked to see, but I think they did all right. As Akron said, they probably cut down on all the confusing stuff and try to simplify the story a little bit.
Yeah,
There's
that's
some
true.
complication to it as well, but it was pretty understandable to me. Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
enjoyed it.
Okay, so I feel like we have all said our parts. Now let's move on to this. Since the pre 8th anniversary live stream is later today, which is coincidentally today, any predictions on what they will be sharing to the Another Eden community for future updates, collaborations, character reveals, etc.? I feel like we've already mentioned a few of these, but if we're going to say, of course, we mentioned collaborations and future updates, but I feel like they could do more with quality of life updates as well, which is something we are always asking for. What do you guys think?
I'm,
Um.
I'm not
All
sure
right.
realistically what to. Hmm. Yeah, you go
No, go
first,
ahead. Go
Columbo.
ahead. Oh, no, no. You go ahead. Go ahead, bro. It's all good.
Okay, okay. For me, quality of life, I'm not really sure because I've always every time they put a survey on, I always say to them like um uh uh to always focus on quality of life improvements.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea what else could realistically improve because I
Yeah.
haven't
Me,
really
I
been
have
finding
one. I have
anything.
one thing that they could
Oh, yeah,
improve
sure.
on.
Oh, they can improve a lot on a lot of things in
Yeah,
that game.
one
Yeah.
major thing we really want them to like implement is that for us to easily switch between mobile and the Steam version.
That'll be
Yes.
good.
Oh yeah.
Because we have to because like if you switch between mobile and Steam, you still have to input your character ID and all that such. That's very much very much
Like
time
basically
consuming.
data transfer every single time.
I wish they did it like Honkai Star Rail, where you log into your account and no matter where you are,
Mm.
you can always log into the same account without having to deal with the login details.
Yep, I want that.
And
I want that
re-download
too.
Yeah.
everything again.
Yeah. So I guess we'll just see what happens during the 8th anniversary live stream, and which I will be I don't know if I'm going to be hosting this, but I will be putting up a watch party later today on my Discord server. So if you guys are free later today, you can join in on the Discord server and join us for
Like
a watch
any
Later
party.
today, you mean
characters
later in
you're
the
all,
morning?
like
I
looking
will have
forward
mine
to?
is
It's
for
3 hours from now,
5:30.
isn't it?
Mine is 5:30 p.m. later today, so that's gonna be interesting.
5 a.m. people. Woo.
Oh,
Yeah.
Clamber was meant to
You
sleep.
guys have like
He
any
plowed through
characters
it.
you're looking forward to being
I'm a warrior.
announced in the stream?
Yeah. Well, we'll just see what happens, what they gonna
No.
reveal. Hopefully, it's another husbando
I don't
character.
know.
Please, I need another husbando
Definitely.
character. I need a new one.
I mean, we have extra style Shion out there right now,
Yeah.
so he could be a possibility. Also, oh yeah, I wanted to point it out. When we saw extra style Shion, his like character sprite is like a splash art. However, Alter Shigure's sprite is like an NPC sprite,
Yeah.
which kind of reminds me of Utpalaka. So I have a feeling that we might get a side story with like Alter Shigure, possibly.
I have a theory for Shion actually, and I hope they don't do that, but it might. So what I think they're gonna do is, if I remember correctly, out there, the samurai, the Ronin, the like whatever, the samurai Shion, the one with the hat,
Mm-hmm.
his position his stance is like, you know, his battle stance is the exact same thing as his normal stance, and I think that maybe they're gonna sell us different costume for different costume, not different style, just different costume.
Like a skin?
Oh
That-
boy.
Like a skin?
Yeah, like a
Yeah,
skin, yeah,
Please
skins.
yeah, like
no.
a skin.
Ah.
Skins or
Please
skins or
no.
recolor.
I hope you're
I
wrong,
would
bro.
no.
I hope you're wrong. I hope you're wrong.
so because I hope I'm wrong, but like the first thing, because like I saw him like, you know, do his animation, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool, but I'm like, don't tell me they're gonna start selling us skins, because from like a person that worked in the industry,
Please,
like
please.
another needs
For
money.
the love of
and,
all
like,
that holy, please do not do
I-
Is
skins.
that why that Tsukuya in a different color? Oh no.
That's
Please
I don't want to freak you guys out. I don't want to freak you guys out, but that would be a way for Right for Studio to get more money out of us. Because otherwise, with polls or whatever, like the revenue is pretty stable. That would bring another source of revenue. I hope it's not the case.
Hopefully,
The
I hope
hopefully.
it's not the case.
Please no, cause
They can
like
make a house mode
Please.
or something.
Please
because
don't.
like
Yeah.
comparing Another Eden to like other gacha games is like Another Eden feels a bit more unique compared to other gacha
yeah.
games. So I hope they don't really follow like the typical
skin
route other
trope.
gacha
The
games
skin
do.
trope, please.
We'll
Yeah,
see.
no. I mean,
Yeah.
if you read like behind the scene and stuff, like the team that runs Another Eden is a passion project. They're not there to make money. Even then, like without going into much detail, the amount of money they make every month is more than enough to run a game from that from that scales or whatever.
But let's hope it does
So,
not happen, please. We
I-
do
I-
not
I
want
hope-
skins.
I hope I'm wrong. And what I hope for the future is I hope that all those stories finish. We get Fate to Black. We hear Seagulls. Your mom wakes you up, and then boom, Chrono Trigger collabs. There you go.
Oh my gosh.
I want sequel. I think they need a sequel quick. I think they just need a sequel. They can run both games, both the original and a sequel.
Yeah,
That's how they can grow.
maybe.
And
Do you think
put them come on Switch while the attention's on Switch.
But wouldn't a sequel be considered like if you continue the original and then have it like a sequel, wouldn't that be considered a retcon situation at that point?
Be different story.
I don't. Right first, you should not go with Nintendo. They're kind of like a pain in the ass to work with, especially with the
Oh, really?
new. Oh yeah, especially with the new laws in. I think it's like in Japan or whatever. The gambling laws are a little bit different there, so that would be kind of weird to implement the gacha element.
How
But
about-
then again, the solution would be to do like in year one, where if you want a gacha character, you have to fight them 5 times, and they do bosses and everything. I spend way too much time on like thinking about this game design wise. I'm sorry.
Oh, is it because Nintendo
No,
they
it's
don't want people
understandable.
to spend money on gacha on Nintendo?
It's because Nintendo's are very, very strict with their IPs, and also they don't really do like end game
Gotcha.
kind of like gacha. Yeah.
Oh, is that why you don't see Hoyo games on Nintendo Switch?
Mhm. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Also, they're very, very strict with compliance. They're very strict with translation. They're very, very strict with a
Oof.
bunch of things like.
That's
Yeah,
pretty
Nin-
fair. I actually admire them
Yeah.
for that.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Don't like that. That's why they have like this quickly clean image and everything. It's yeah. Oh, so
Mhm.
much of current character design. I hate that we are reverting. And that's another discussion of like the because that's another discussion because I'm reading the chat, but yeah, the like the way the
Yeah,
character designs are over designed right now is not fun.
I have one like other kind of prediction for like the anniversary live stream thingy, but it's not exactly game related.
Okay.
What if like Another Eden animation?
Oh, they need
Like
a
an
budget
anime?
for that.
It
They
could be
need
a
a budget.
Yeah,
special.
those are very expensive.
I mean, to be
Oh,
fair,
yeah.
Could be
awesome.
a movie, could be a short special, short
maybe
animation.
to be fair, they have. I think it was IG animations that they did for the Tales of animations. Maybe they could work with that one. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
IG
But
animation.
isn't something like 100,000 for a 10-minute clip or even
Pretty
less?
It's pretty
Hmm.
expensive.
Yeah, it's
I don't
very-
think we should get animation, but I actually think that starting like forward, we should get those little beautiful piece of art at the end of every chapters. These things very like made me smile, like you know the
Yeah.
one where it's like yeah,
But who
those little kind of
knows?
like
Who knows what the future holds for us?
yeah.
But that would be good. Anime would be sick. Maybe if they do a partnership, like a merch. But I don't know how big the game is though.
I would love to see another.
Yeah.
I would love to see another cafe collaboration like they did last time.
Mm.
I'm too far to go.
Well, the only experience that we
Maybe
have is
another
our own
orchestra.
community manager, Scott.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Scott
Live
was
vicariously
doing
through him.
All right. So who knows what's going to reveal in the anniversary live stream is going to be very surprising to all of us. So, but
Yep.
before everyone goes, we have some very special announcements that we would like to share with all of you. And me and the collaborators have all agreed to all of this. Crystalites, another Eden community members, we are proud to announce one of two announcements. The first is the After
We're
Talks.
having a baby.
Nope, you ruined it. The After Talks live stream is actually episode 0 of the Collaborators Beyond Time and Space's newest series, the You Gotcha Right podcast, where you gotcha head in the game. That's our tagline, by the way. So we are now proudly
A
announcing.
melody.
Okay, yeah, you can't see it, but like,
Yeah.
we are proud to
Where-
announce that we are now going to be starting a podcast series with my fellow collaborators, and we might bring in some guests here and there. Who knows? Maybe we could invite Scott to the podcast, but who knows?
Oh yeah.
Who knows? But
That'd be
like,
great.
we are still in
And
the
there's some
planning
people in
process.
the chat we can bring on, I think.
That's
We've
true.
got
We can
Zay
definitely
here,
bring
we've got
in a
MPG.
bunch of people. But for now, we are still in like the planning process of how we're gonna do it. Whether we'd be doing it live or we doing it pre-recorded episodes, the Gotcha Right podcast will be for now be uploaded onto my main YouTube channel. But maybe in the near future we will plan to do like a standalone YouTube channel, or we could just upload it onto my main channel for like a playlist and all that such. But stay tuned for future updates regarding the You Gotcha Right podcast, where you gotcha head in the game. And who knows? We
whoa,
might.
Whoa, that sounded. How often did you rehearse that? That sounded perfect. Melody.
I don't know. I
Well
just said that
executed.
on the spot. I am considered a
Yeah.
a yapper person. I yap a
Yapposaurus.
lot. And that's not the only announcement we're doing, because I did mention this in a previous live stream over on Twitch, but you might have glossed over it. But announcement 2 will be the very first Gotcha You Gotcha Rights podcast special will be happening on my main channel, where we're doing another live AMA that will be taking place on April 12th, the same day as the 8th anniversary, where we're going to be celebrating another Eden JP's 8th anniversary. So further details will be announced over on Twitter and Blue Sky, and of course my fellow collaborators will also be reposting and quoting said announcements for future announcements and for future reminders. So this is going to be really exciting. I can't wait for what's going to happen, and I am looking forward to this. I'm super excited. This is our second collaboration this month, which is going to be insane. We're going to be very busy. And
I won't. Who needs sleeps, right?
Yeah, who needs sleep? Just follow
But who knows?
Well, let's see
So,
what happens to them.
if you guys have any questions related to another Eden's 8th anniversary, there will be a Google form posted very soon, so stay tuned for further announcements over on Twitter and Blue Sky. And
Reddit, probably.
Yeah, Reddit as well. And Zara, shall we announce a little something to everyone? Shall we say it? Shall we say it?
I mean, don't outright say what it is, but
You're running for president.
No.
I mean, we can say that. I mean, you did post that trailer, so it
Yeah.
will happen on the 12th as well.
Yes.
And it might be posted after the stream, but yeah.
Who knows? But
hopefully there's something
our
like
little
that.
surprise that me and Zara have been working on, we did not tell you three. It was a project between me, Zara, and another person, but we're super excited to share with you guys. Let me just say, it's a song cover. A song cover of something.
Ooh.
If you've seen the teaser trailer, you know what song it is. But further announcements will be down the line, so stay tuned for more. And this is where,
Outright spoiled it though.
well,
Is it Uppita?
no.
Is it the Bruno Mars song?
No. No.
Oh,
Anyways, that's all for the announcements for today. Thank you all so much for tuning in on episode 0 of the After Talks, which is now the You Gotcha Right podcast. We're super excited to do this, and I can't wait to do this podcast with my fellow collaborators. How are you guys feeling about this? Are you nervous that we're doing this podcast now? Like we're
Super
gonna,
excited. I'm gonna be tired a lot, but it's all good.
yeah.
I'm doing
Maybe
it for
we
you
can
guys.
just.
I'm super
It's gonna.
excited for
The
real.
podcast is gonna be very chill. A lot of things are gonna be pre-recorded, but sometimes we're gonna do
Yep.
live episodes. So stay tuned for that one. But yeah. So this is where we're gonna be ending episode 0 of our podcast live. Any few words that you'd like to say before we end?
Just for me, thanks so much, Melly. I know how much work goes into these things. I mean, you made some
Yeah.
awesome slides and it's so much work. So thanks for having
Yeah.
us and thanks for preparing and organizing all of this. I
Yeah,
really
you're
appreciate it
welcome.
and admire it.
Any day, I get
me
to
too.
collaborate with my
hosting
fellow
all of me.
collaborators. Yeah.
Nah,
Yes.
for real, it's actually really fun.
Yeah.
Because like it's actually really fun, like to talk to other like people that love the same game as much as like as you do. It's really like it's kind of like fun to talk and share with the community like on live.
Mhm.
Like even like I'm reading the chat right now, like I'm talking to you guys. It's really fun and like thank you for
Yeah.
all the hard work.
It's
you
been
put in.
really
That's-
fun. I can't
Yeah,
wait
no,
to
you're
do
you're
more.
doing the work. You're doing the work.
Yeah, I can't wait to do more of this with all of you guys. And who
Right.
knows? Maybe we can have more collaborators in the near future.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be great. Oh yeah.
So
Avengers Unite! Assemble, sorry, not Unite.
uh
Close
It's
enough.
copyrighted, so fair
It's
enough.
Yeah.
copyrighted. We would do the another
maybe
Eden
we
version.
can think of something that is related to another Eden or gotcha games in general. But
Gambling addicts unite!
You know what? That's perfect.
anyways, so if you have anything else, if we don't have anything else to say, this is where I'm going to be ending today's live. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you guys for joining me. And I'm so happy that you guys accepted the invite for this entire after talks. And who knows, we might do another after talks special with the Gotcha Right podcast on main story stuff. So I'm very excited. I don't know what another Eden has for us, but like I'm super excited that I got to do this with all of you, and I can't wait for
Alright.
what the future holds.
Hey,
See you,
cheers, baby.
everybody.
Kind of crazy.
See
See you
at the
guys
stream.
later.
Yeah,
See
thank
you.
you guys so
Alright.
much.
Couple hours,
See you
people.
next
Peace
time,
out.
Crystalites.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.